No elixir could heal this wound. Outside the cave, Ho Ching was getting brutally beaten by the Mang Shiku He. He looked at the sword in his hand, lamenting inwardly. This beast's venom is truly potent. My Qing Feng sword is completely ruined. Before he could finish his lament, the Mang Shikuhi's tongue lashed out like lightning. Ho Ching swiftly waved his hand, and a chain shot out from his sleeve. He finally managed to stop momentarily beneath a nearby large tree. Ho Ching thought to himself, my spiritual energy is almost depleted. This Mang Shi truly lives up to its reputation, a worthy tier 4 beast. It seems facing it alone is still too much for me, but I have to try. With that, Ho Ching clenched his fist. A powerful surge of Dao Qi emanated from the chain. The Mang Shiku, he didn't hesitate, lashing its tongue, over 10 meters long, towards Ho Ching. Seizing the opportunity, Ho Ching swiftly threw the chain straight into the monster's mouth. However, in the next moment, he was slammed to the ground by the Mang Shiku He and sent flying backward. As his body crashed heavily to the ground, blood gushed from the corner of his mouth. Ho Ching's body trembled violently, nearly completely exhausted. This was his limit. But just then, from the withered Mang Shi's mouth, a fierce flame suddenly erupted, making Ho Ching cry out in joy. Success! The withered Mang Shi began to sway violently, then roared. An earth-shattering roar that echoed throughout the dense forest. The terrifying sound sent the surrounding birds into a panicked frenzy. Immediately afterward, the colossal monster collapsed to the ground. Its body instantly burst into flames. Witnessing this scene, Ho Ching felt a sense of unease. Just then, Fang Xing's voice rang out in panic. I didn't react in time. Wasn't the Mang Shi's flesh a precious elixir? Fang Xing's figure gradually appeared, holding a piece of the withered Mang Shi's flesh in his hand. He looked at Ho Ching and said, young Master Ho, of all people, what a small world. Witnessing Fang Xing casually, sitting right in front of him, nonchalantly eating demon flesh, Ho Ching exclaimed in astonishment. That ferocious beast. Could it be that you were the one who killed it? You dare eat demon flesh without fear of exploding? Who are you? Fang Xing sneered in response. Young Master Ho, don't you get tired of asking so many questions? If I'm not mistaken, you've completely depleted your spiritual energy, haven't you? Don't worry. I'll be kind enough to take care of you. Of course, if you kneel down and beg for your life, I might reconsider. Hearing this, Ho Ching immediately dropped to his knees, his head bowed low. This action took Fang Xing by surprise. Ho Ching hastily spoke. Junior brother Fang, I was wrong before. I have offended you greatly. Please forgive me. These are some spiritual herbs I have with me. After we return to the Tao sect, I will reward you handsomely. Please be magnanimous and don't lower yourself to his level. Fang Heng jumped down from the withered giant serpent's back, a faint smile playing on his lips. Never thought a pampered young master like you would stoop to this. At this moment, Ho Ching revealed his true colors, casting aside his deceptive facade. He thought to himself, in the end, he's just a common bandit, blinded by greed. Once this brat gets closer, I'll swallow the soul-splitting pill to recover my spiritual power, then catch him off guard and finish him off. Using the soul-splitting pill will weaken my cultivation, but I have no other choice. But the moment the thought crossed his mind, his life came to an end. A cold blade pierced through Ho Ching's body. Ho Ching choked out. You promised to spare me. Did you really think I was foolish enough to fall for your little cat and mouse game? I believe I told you before. Don't be so delusional. You'll only bring trouble upon yourself. Hearing these words, Ho Ching was suddenly reminded of the past, when a woman who had once deceived him spoke in a similar tone. Junior brother, let your senior sister give you one piece of advice. Don't overthink things. You'll only bring disaster upon yourself. Her words seemed reasonable, and he kept them in his heart. Now, Ho Ching was so enraged that his veins bulged as he roared. So you're the one who tricked me and stole the Yaoling Dam, forcing me to accept this damned invitation to this death trap of a banquet. You bastard! Do you know how much I sacrificed to get to where I am today? I don't care about your sacrifices. From a moment you kicked Xiao Man out of the Dao Gate, you were a dead man. Kicked out of the Dao Gate? So, you were that beggar. If I had known. Before Ho Ching could finish his sentence, he collapsed, descending to the Yellow Springs to meet his ancestors. If only we had formed a larger group, perhaps Ho Ching wouldn't have died. Witnessing Ho Ching's death right before his eyes, Fang Xing fell into deep contemplation. A moment later, he turned back, towards where the dried serpent's demon core emanated a powerful, domineering aura. Fang Xing slowly approached, rummaging for a long time within the dried serpent's withered corpse. And then, a glimmer of hope flashed in his eyes. He hastily picked up the core, exclaiming joyfully, "This must be the demon spirit core of that dried serpent." As expected of a fourth-grade demon beast's demon spirit core, its reputation is well-deserved. Just holding it in his hand, he could feel the terrifying pressure emanating from it. Fang Xing pondered deeply. The Taishanghua Ling Jing allows me to directly absorb spiritual energy from medicinal herbs and spiritual materials upon consumption. But this method is extremely dangerous. Last time, I almost lost my life. If I use the conventional method and slowly refine it, it will not only be time-consuming, but I also don't know if my aptitude is enough to absorb all the spiritual energy within it, whether it truly exists. That was the real dilemma. After a moment of careful consideration, Fang Xing decided to take a gamble. Damn it, go big or go home. How can you catch tiger cubs without entering the tiger's den? Fortune favors the bold, he declared, swallowing the demon core whole. At first, he didn't feel anything unusual, casually remarking, "Seems not so bad." But in the next moment, his body began to tremble violently, his face flushing crimson. A terrifying pressure emanated from the demon core, sending the surrounding demonic beasts scattering in terror. From somewhere, a black cat slowly emerged. Hey Mao, whether by coincidence or fate. The last time, after disguising himself as his senior sister, Fang Xing had encountered an identical black cat. Hey Mao, this time was no exception. The black cat leisurely approached. Hey Mao. But suddenly, Fang Xing's eyes snapped open, startling him. A moment later, Fang Xing slowly sat up, then stood to his feet. I've finally broken through. So this is what it feels like to reach the high-grade spirit moving stage. How wondrous. I don't know how much time has passed. I need to return to the Tao sect quickly. But how will I explain this to the elders? After a moment of deep thought, Fang Heng looked up at the sky and made a firm decision. I'll just play dumb. A short while later, at Qing Yun sect, the fatty suddenly blurted out a sigh. I wish a bird would fall from the sky, so we'd have something to fill our bellies. As soon as he finished speaking, a strange object fell from the sky, startling him. Just then, Fang Heng suddenly appeared, holding a piece of dried snake meat. A senior brother asked, "What happened?" At this moment, Fang Heng's expression suddenly changed, and he burst into tears. The senior brothers standing before him, completely bewildered, he had no idea what was going on. I am Fang Heng, an insignificant outer disciple. Half a month ago, I, along with senior brother Ho Qing's group, received a summoning talisman and set off for Yao Chou Mountain to exterminate the ferocious demons. But the outcome was utterly disastrous. All my senior brothers perished in the wilderness, and I alone was fortunate enough to survive and return. Hearing this, everyone was utterly horrified. Stammering, senior brother Ho. Has senior brother Ho truly fallen? From inside the room, an elder emerged, his face stern as he bellowed, "As cultivators, how can you carry on with such a racket? What kind of decorum is this?" Another person hurriedly reported, "Elder, this young man claims he received the same summoning talisman as senior brother Ho, and now he's the only one who has returned." The elder nodded slightly and said coldly, "Very well. Follow me, both of you. What happened today? Let's pretend it never did. Don't breathe a word of this to anyone, understand?" "Yes, yes, sir." Moments later, inside the meeting room, "So, as soon as you set foot in the mountains, before Ho Qing and his companions could make any arrangements, that demonic serpent suddenly appeared?" "That's right. We hadn't even had time to set the bait. Senior brother Ho and the others rushed to engage it, but that demonic serpent was truly ferocious. In just a blink of an eye, senior brothers Qian and Zhao were slain. This disciple is truly incompetent. While the senior brothers fought, I could only hide behind a tree, and that's how I luckily escaped the demonic serpent's claws." Did they mention anything about luring the demonic serpent? Perhaps because they saw this disciple as too young. The senior brothers didn't explain the specifics, only instructing that when the time came, this disciple would be responsible for arranging the bait to distract the demon. Who would have thought it would appear so suddenly? Listening to the story, the two elders exchanged glances and nodded slowly in agreement. Deep down, one of them thought, As expected, Ho Ching intended to use this young man as a sacrificial lamb to lure the demon. In the end, when he realized he couldn't fight the ferocious Mang Ku cat, senior brother Ho left senior brother Lu behind to block its path, while he himself fled for his life. However, Mang Ku cat paid no attention to senior brother Lu, who stood completely still, but directly chased after senior brother Ho and killed him. It seems what you said is true. Mang Ku Cap is born with a fatal flaw. It can only see moving objects and ignores stationary ones. Ho Ching's act of running away alone actually brought disaster upon himself. So, how did Mang Ku Cap ultimately die? After devouring senior brother Ho, the Mang Ku Cap demon returned to the same spot and unleashed a terrifying demonic wind from its mouth, sucking in the bodies of senior brother Zhao and senior brother Qian into its belly. Senior brother Lu was lucky to survive, but tragically, he too was swallowed into the maw of the terrifying demon serpent. But this disciple witnessed with his own eyes the moment he was devoured. Senior brother still gripped his saber tightly, refusing to surrender. Not long after swallowing senior brother Lu, the demon serpent suddenly opened its jaws wide towards the sky, frozen like a statue. Fearing it was about to unleash some terrifying sorcery, this disciple fled in terror. Fortunately, the demon serpent didn't pursue this cowardly disciple. Several days later, this disciple dared to return. By then, the demon serpent was long dead. Its carcass had been nearly devoured by other demonic beasts. Even this disciple saw the remains of other senior brothers within the demon serpent's belly. The scene was truly tragic and devastating. That Lu San was indeed extraordinary, no ordinary man. Surely, after being mistaken for a corpse and swallowed by the giant serpent demon, he seized the opportunity, striking and shattering the monster's vital organs. Only then was he able to destroy the ferocious demon serpent. Thanks to that, the ferocious demon serpent was vanquished. But I fear Lu San himself, depleted of spiritual energy, perished within the belly of the colossal beast. That's all there is to it. Further words are useless. Did you retrieve the Mang Shi Zhang's core? Disciples searched everywhere, but found no trace of it. I only managed to bring back a remaining leg of that Jiang demon. You are useless, taking a whole night to return and check. Who knows how many? Demons were attracted by the blood scent of the Mang Shi Jiang. That Yao Ling Dan is the vessel containing the strongest demonic energy. How could it possibly be left behind? If the Yaoling Dan is not brought back, according to the Taoist sect's rules, this Fu Zhao can only be considered a failure. Don't be too disheartened. Just surviving is already the greatest reward. All right, you may leave. Yes, this disciple will take his leave. Wait. As soon as the words were spoken, the elder's room fell silent. He then said to Fong Hang, "Wait outside the door for a moment. We need to discuss further." The grand elder spoke. "Junior brother Yuan, why did you keep this young man here?" "Senior brothers. Junior brother thinks that, even though in this Fu Zhao, that kid didn't accomplish anything significant, we should still consider his mission completed and reward him generously. However, he didn't bring back the Yaoling Dan, leaving our Fu Zhao Jian with nothing to offer as tribute. If we don't acknowledge the Fu Zhao as a success, and instead have to compensate with Shi Jing San, won't we suffer a great loss?" The third elder shook his head, objecting. "Senior brother, what you said is unreasonable. In recent years, except for the Dao men reluctantly sending participants, the number of disciples voluntarily accepting the Fu Zhao has become increasingly scarce. They would rather rob their fellow disciples than come to Fu Zhaodian and properly obtain resources through the Fu Zhao. The reason is simple. Dao men disciples all believe that stepping into the Fu Zhao Great Hall is like stepping into death's door. 9 out of 10 will lose their lives. Furthermore, even if they are lucky enough to survive the danger, they are not guaranteed to obtain any resources. Therefore, no one would foolishly seek out death. Since the source of the Shi Jing San is firmly in our grasp, they can't find it anywhere else. So, their only option is to accept the Fu Zhao with a desperate resolve. Hearing this, the great elder probed, "Junior brother, what are your thoughts? This time, we should consider that the boy has completed the Fu Zhao. Let's grant him the Shi Jing San. Enlighten the sentence for Ho Qing and the others. Then spread this news. This way, when other disciples see that even a lowly nobody can complete the Fu Zhao, their fear will lessen." Then, the number of disciples accepting the Fu Zhao will surely increase. But outside, Fong Heng thought to himself, I wonder what those 3 old geezers are plotting? Perhaps they're using some kind of secret technique. That's why I can't hear anything. Could there have been a flaw in what I said earlier? Afraid of being discovered. Suddenly, the door swung open, causing Fong Heng to lose his balance and stumble. Before him stood 3 elders, their figures imposing. Fong Heng stammered nervously, this disciple has been waiting outside for a long time and was about to knock and inquire. Young man, congratulations, you have successfully completed this talisman projection. Now, follow us to receive your reward. Hearing this, Fong Heng was utterly stunned. A moment later, the 3 elders handed him a pouch of spirit stone powder and said, This is your reward for the excellent completion of this talisman projection. 3 liang of spirit stone powder, take it. Fong Heng hastily accepted it and said respectfully, Thank you, elders. Fong Heng, you did not obtain the Meng Ku Python's inner core in this talisman projection, so technically, you haven't completed the task. However, you must remember this well. This must be kept absolutely confidential. We're making a special exception for you. If the AI questions you, say you brought back the giant serpent's core. Everything must be done according to the rules. Understood, elder. Please rest assured. What a stroke of luck. Such a fortunate opportunity. Could it be that my luck is finally turning around? Just then, a young man entered, respectfully bowing to the 3 elders. Uncle, you summoned me? Seeing him arrive, the 3 elders said in unison, You've arrived at the perfect time, Xian Zhao. Your junior brother, Fong Heng, has just completed the Fu Zhao mission, overcoming countless obstacles and achieving great success. Escort him down the mountain. Xian Zhao was taken aback, his gaze immediately fixing on the Jing sand in Fong Heng's hands. Understanding dawned on him, and he replied, Thank you, uncle. I will ensure junior brother Fong's safe descent. Fong Heng quickly interjected, Junior brother, you can go down the mountain yourself. There's no need to trouble senior brother Xian Zhao. Xian Zhao gently patted Fong Heng's shoulder and said warmly, Junior brother Fong, let me accompany you part of the way. The path down the mountain isn't as smooth and safe as you might think. Fong Heng, still unaware of their intentions, innocently agreed. Yes, thank you for your concern, senior brother. Afterwards, the 2 left the main hall together. The 3 elders then revealed sinister expressions and whispered, Brat, don't blame us for being ruthless. Moments later, the scene shifted to outside the mountain gate. Fong Heng and Xian Zhao were slowly making their way down the mountain path. Xian Zhao spoke. Junior brother Fong, just follow this trail, and you'll reach your valley soon. Thank you, senior brother, for showing me the way. This mountain road is treacherous and winding. Without senior brother's guidance, I'm afraid I really wouldn't have found my way down. Also, senior brother, could you please enlighten me further on the path of filial piety cultivation that you just mentioned? This humble Fong is eternally grateful. Don't mention it, junior brother Fong. Fong Heng replied. To complete the Fu Zhao at such a young age, your future is truly limitless. As your senior brother, it's only natural for me to assist you. But I'm curious, what is junior brother Fong's current cultivation level? At this time, I've only recently joined the sect, and my cultivation is still quite low, Fong Heng answered. I've only just reached the peak of the first stage of Lingdong. Successfully completing the Fu Zhao this time was like a blind cat finding a dead mouse. Purely luck. Xian Zhao nodded and said, The first stage of Lingdong is indeed a bit low. Junior brother Fong's reward for this Fu Zhao is the Jing sand, meant for those at the 3rd stage of Lingdong seeking a breakthrough. Although the Jing sand is quite precious, for junior brother Fong at present, it's of no use. Have you considered the need to quickly raise your cultivation level? Like right now, what's the truth of the matter? Is the stone-crushing powder truly that useless? Should I really rely on the meager 2 spirit stones that the Tao sect distributes monthly? Moreover, receiving 2 spirit stones each month is a treatment for Jiaji level disciples. I'm just an ordinary Ding level disciple, receiving only 1 stone every 3 months. Hearing Xian Zhao finish, Fong Heng remained silent. Xian Zhao lightly patted Fong Heng's shoulder, his tone gentle, yet laced with a hint of mockery and ridicule. It's all right. On the way down the mountain, I saw you seemed quite taken with the stone-crushing powder, so I wanted to lend a hand. Lend a hand? Indeed, Keeping that stone-crushing powder is useless for you. Why not sell it to me in exchange for some emergency spirit stones? Wouldn't that be more practical for improving your cultivation? What do you think? Fong Heng thought to himself. As expected, I guessed right. Nothing good ever falls from the sky for free. That elder, making an exception for me, is probably just to give his nephew a chance to obtain the stone essence powder. Even as an elder, it's difficult for him to directly acquire this resource. That's under strict control by the Taoists. That's why he's using me as a middleman. Actually, stone essence powder is rare for others, but for me, obtaining it isn't difficult. I was just worried that junior brother Fong lacked cultivation resources, so I came up with this mutually beneficial plan. Therefore, I'll offer you 30 spirit stones for the stone essence powder. Is that sincere enough? Bu Fong Xing smiled faintly. Haha, senior brother Xian Zhao is joking with me again. Although my aptitude is limited, I know that at the ghost market, this stone essence powder is worth at least a few hundred spirit stones. Before he could finish, a hand shot out, tightly gripping Fong Heng's neck. Xian Zhao coldly questioned, Senior brother, what is the meaning of this? Brat, do you really think you have the right to bargain with me? He threw Fong Heng to the ground, his voice menacing. Even if I kill you right here, I can have my uncle cover it up, saying you slipped and fell to your death. And then, absolutely no one would dare speak up for you. Do you understand? Giving you 30 spirit stones was only because I didn't want to make things too ugly. Who knew you'd be so ungrateful? Fong Heng thought to himself, if I reveal my cultivation level now, the Dao sect will surely be suspicious about Fu Zhao, considering his family background and influence. He offered the stone essence powder, his tone softening. Senior brother Xian Zhao, I was reckless just now. This Shijing powder is compensation for the wrongs I've committed. I humbly request that senior brother accept it. Hearing these words, Xian Zhao fell into a contemplative silence. After a moment, he released his foot from Fong Xing's body. Fong Xing took the Shijing powder and silently left. Before leaving, he turned back, flashing a smug grin. Junior brother Fong, just think, he said, if you had been more obedient, listened to me earlier, would all of this have happened? Don't blame me. The way of the Tao is the survival of the fittest, the strong bullying the weak. You are weaker than me, so everything you suffer is deserved. Understand? Only then did Fong Xing slowly rise, his eyes following Xian Zhao's receding figure, a plan for revenge beginning to form in his mind. On his way back, Xian Zhao triumphantly muttered to himself, finally got it. I must properly thank my uncle when I get home. He's truly so thoughtful. Just at that moment, a strange noise suddenly erupted from the bushes by the roadside. Xian Zhao turned his head to look. Suddenly, a short blade came hurtling towards him. Before he could react, the sharp blade pierced his flesh, sending a jolt of terror through him. Crimson blood stained his clothes. Xian Zhao, enraged, pointed towards the deep forest and roared, "Who dares ambush me? Show yourself." From the shadows, an icy voice echoed. Quite clever of you, old friend, acquiring the precious stone heart powder without spending a single spirit stone, and then hoarding the spoils for yourself. Isn't that a bit unfair? Hearing this, Xian Zhao immediately channeled his spiritual energy, unleashing a deadly attack towards a stranger. However, his attack was effortlessly dodged. Xian Zhao roared in fury. So you've been following me, eavesdropping and waiting to ambush me for my prize. Are you tired of living? Not letting him gloat, Fong Heng immediately counterattacked. You're courting death. With those words, a ferocious attack was launched, aimed directly at Xian Zhao. Despite his best efforts to defend, Xian Zhao still felt a violent tremor coursing through his entire body. He thought to himself, this guy's cultivation level is far above mine. Before losing consciousness, he vaguely heard the man mention the name Lu Feng. As dusk settled, Xian Zhao slowly regained consciousness and struggled to his feet. He patted himself down, horrified to discover that all his possessions were gone. Rage surged through him. He slammed his fist into the ground and roared, "Who was it? Which bastard dared to rob me, right here in the Dao sect?" After regaining his composure, he recalled the robber had a tall, imposing figure, and with a single blow had knocked him unconscious. Perhaps he's the great Dao thief, spoken of in Dao sect legends. Lately, he's only been robbing newcomers, which I could overlook, but today he dared to lay his hands on me. That guy must have thought I was unconscious. Speaking of Lu Feng, that Lu Feng could very well be his accomplice. If we can find Lu Feng, We'll surely find that thief. Find him. Even if I have to dig 3 feet into the ground, I will drag him out. When Fong Xing leisurely returned home, the scene before him was quite a surprise. Lu Feng was sitting in his house, drinking wine, with Yu Sanliang beside him. Fong Xing thought to himself, Lu Feng, what's he doing on my doorstep? After Lu Feng drained his cup, he slammed it down on the table and roared, more wine. Yu Sanliang hurriedly refilled his cup. Lu Feng then said, I heard from the people at Fu Zhaodian that Ho Qing's spirit projection was successful today. Do you know what this means? Yu Sanliang shook his head, clueless. Lu Feng let out a scornful snort. The tracking charm had worked its magic. That meant the little brat had become a feast for the demonic beasts. He would never have the chance to return. Hearing this, Yu Sanliang trembled like a leaf. The wine in his hand spilled all over. Lu Feng flew into a rage. He kicked Yu Sanliang hard and roared, You pathetic fool, did you spill my wine on purpose? Yu Sanliang pleaded, trembling, Senior brother Lu, please spare my life. I truly didn't mean to. Lu Feng grabbed the wine jug and smashed it against Yu Sanliang's head. Fresh blood streamed down Yu Sanliang's face. He grabbed Yu Sanliang by the hair, his voice as cold as ice. It's a shame that little punk didn't die by my hand. Fine, I'll take my anger out on you, you fat pig. Don't blame me. You should have chosen your friends more wisely. Junior brother Yu, I'll give you a chance. Kneel and kowtow to me. With each kowtow, you must say, Fong Xing is a bastard. Just shout my name 100 times, and I'll spare you. What are you waiting for? Yu Sanliang trembled, kneeling before Fong Hang. In that precarious moment, he suddenly remembered the moment Fong Hang gave him 2 spirit stones, and sincerely said, Take them. After all, you're my friend. I can't treat you poorly. Yu Sanliang thought to himself, Friend. Lu Feng lost his patience and roared, What are you still standing there for? Shout! But Yu Sanliang just trembled, unable to utter a word. Lu Feng said angrily, It seems your relationship with that brat isn't bad. Then don't blame me. With that, Lu Feng drew his sword, lunging towards Yu Sanliang with lightning speed. Yu Sanliang was terrified and squeezed his eyes shut. But at that moment, Lu Feng was suddenly stopped, a hand effortlessly blocking his sharp blade. Yu Sanliang opened his eyes and exclaimed in surprise, Brother Fong Hang. Lu Feng was seething with rage, his mind screaming, How is that damn brat still alive? He even dared to use his spiritual power to break my flying sword. Fong Hang scoffed in response. You senior brothers are truly naive. Getting this riled up over a few petty provocations? It cost you nothing. If it were me, I would have cursed your ancestors back from the grave. Yu Sanliang, hearing this, declared with certainty, It really is you. You're actually still alive? If you weren't standing right here, I'd have thought you were reincarnated as a ghost. With that, Yu Sanliang lunged forward, clinging to Fong Hang's leg and sobbing, You're back. I thought you weren't coming back. Fong Hang shook his leg frantically, yelling, Disgusting. Don't wipe your snot on my leg. Lu Feng demanded, How are you still alive? Senior brother Ho. How could he have let you go? Fong Hang replied, You mean Ho Qing? He's dead. Not just him, but all 3 of his lackeys are dead too. Do you know why I'm the only one who came back alive? Because I hate you. Hate you to the very bone to think that within the Tao Man, a despicable villain like you still survives. That's why I had to return to personally send you to the Yellow Springs. Hearing these venomous words, Lu Feng roared in outrage. You're spouting nonsense. As I see it, you're the one who ran back to the Tao Man to call for reinforcements. But fortunately, I've now recovered my cultivation. This time, you won't succeed in your sneak attack. Last time I beat you within an inch of your life. This time I'll send you straight to Yama. No sooner had he spoken than he received a devastating punch from Fong Hang right in the mouth. Fong Hang's punch was incredibly powerful, sending Lu Feng flying dozens of meters. Several of his teeth went scattering. Blood immediately gushed from his mouth like a spring. Lu Feng was utterly terrified, his whole body trembling as he stammered, Fong, junior brother Fong, I'm sorry, just now. I was wrong. He thought to himself. This kid's cultivation has increased by at least 3 realms. Since when did he become so powerful? Fong Hang immediately stepped forward, stomped on his head, and coldly declared, Today you will die. I told you, no one can save you now. That evening, Yu Sanliang said to Fong Hang, Junior brother Fong, you said earlier that you wanted to kill Lu Feng. I was truly worried you would act recklessly. Fortunately, you stopped yourself in time. I'm not a fool. even though those old geezers turn a blind eye, ignoring the matters of right and wrong within the sect. We don't have any backing. If we act too rashly, I'm afraid they won't just sit still. However, although I didn't touch him, you can rest assured, I won't breathe a word of this. Back at Lu Feng's place, Fong Hang continued. Just you wait, someone will come looking for trouble with him. That damn brat's attack was truly vicious. I'm afraid it will take at least half a month for my spiritual power to fully recover. Just as he finished speaking, several shadowy figures suddenly descended from the sky. Lu Feng looked up, still confused about what was happening, when one of them demanded, "Are you Lu Feng?" "Yes." Before Lu Feng could finish his sentence, the man grabbed Lu Feng by the collar, lifted him into the air, and continued to ask, "Our young master has some questions for you. Come with us." Lu Feng was completely powerless to resist. As for Fong Hang, he had obtained from Ho Qing a considerable amount of medicinal pills, flying swords, and an earth-shrinking talisman. The system announced Earth-Shrinking Talisman, a high-level auxiliary magical treasure capable of allowing the user to instantly travel a certain distance after absorbing enough spiritual energy. Ho Qing truly lived up to his reputation, possessing countless treasures, worthy of the title of a wealthy young master. Suddenly, a martial arts manual unexpectedly fell out of his pocket, immediately catching Fong Xing's attention. Seeing the manual before his eyes, Fong Xing couldn't hide his delight and quickly picked it up. He exclaimed, "The timing, the place, and the people. What luck!" Although it's just a basic technique, it's something only obtainable after officially stepping onto the path of cultivation. I wonder how that Ho Qing managed to get his hands on this manual. The system immediately announced Dragon Seizing and Crane Grasping Technique, a foundational cultivation technique. Upon mastery, the user can skillfully control an invisible guiding force with incredibly versatile applications. Without hesitation, Fong Xing immediately began cultivating the new technique. Meanwhile, at Xianzhou, a subordinate went to investigate and was horrified to discover that Lu Feng was dead. He turned his head and respectfully reported, "Young master, he's no longer breathing." He gritted his teeth, refusing to utter a single word. Could it be we captured the wrong person? Xian Zhao listened, then calmly waved his hand and ordered, "Forget it. Dispose of the body where you found him. Clean up thoroughly." The subordinate respectfully replied, "Yes, young master." Then he hesitated and continued, "Young master, actually, before I brought Lu Feng here, he was already severely injured." Xian Zhao raised an eyebrow and asked, "Oh, did he say who inflicted those injuries?" The subordinate hurriedly answered. He said, "It was someone named Fong Xing." Hearing that name, Xian Zhao exclaimed in surprise, "Fong Xing?" Fong Xing was immersed in his cultivation when he suddenly heard a rapid knocking at his door. Emerging from his room, he complained, "How many times have I told you, senior brothers, not to disturb me at this hour?" But the person standing before him wasn't the familiar Yu Samliang. She offered a soft greeting, her voice gentle as flowing water. "Greetings, junior brother Fong. I am Lin Qingxiu, a close friend of Ho Qing." Upon hearing her introduction, Fong Hang thought to himself, so she's Lin Qingxiu. No wonder the medicine bottle was engraved with the character Shui. She must be the one who diligently helped Ho Qing refine those precious elixirs. Qingxiu continued, "I came here to inquire about Ho Qing's situation. I hope junior brother Fong doesn't find my visit abrupt." Fong Hang responded politely, "Greetings, senior sister Lin. Since you're a friend of senior brother Ho, allow me to explain the whole story to you. Please come inside." Suddenly, he remembered the cultivation technique he was practicing. Heavens, I completely forgot about this. He quickly jumped to cover the manual, his face flushed with embarrassment as he explained, Senior sister, this." Lin Qingxue furrowed her brows slightly, a thoughtful expression flitting across her face. "Junior brother Fong, at your age, you should be focusing on your cultivation. Why are you reading such frivolous books?" Fong Heng quickly defended himself, a hint of urgency in his voice. "The senior brothers gave them to me. I haven't really understood them yet." "Senior sister, please have a seat. Let me explain the whole story to you." After listening to the story, Qingxue nodded slightly, understanding dawning on her face. "I see. That serpent demon is a 4th-level demon after all, possessing extraordinary power. Senior brother Ho Qing hasn't grasped its tactics and habits, so it's understandable that he's failed 7 times. Thank you, junior brother Fong, for the detailed explanation. I've troubled you today." Fong Heng humbly replied. It's my duty as a junior brother. Senior brother Ho Qing is truly a kind person. Bringing me along must have been his way of helping me. With things having come to this, Lin Qingxue hesitated. I offer my condolences, elder sister. Qingxue took out a jade bottle containing medicine. Right, Fong Di. This is the medicine I meticulously researched and prepared. Don't stand on ceremony. Fong Heng politely replied, Lin Jie, I've troubled you. Suddenly, Fong Heng sensed a surge of murderous intent. He quickly turned, narrowly dodging a fatal sword strike. The sharp blade grazed his face, causing the jar in Fong Heng's hand to fall and shatter. Fong Heng was horrified. Lin Jie, what do you mean by this? Lin Qingxue said coldly, if I'm not mistaken, what you're hiding is the dragon-catching peacock that I entrusted to Ho Qing. Isn't that right? If what you said is true, then why is Ho Qing's belonging in your possession? You think those lies can fool others, but they can fool me. Are you involved in Ho Qing's death? Fong Heng indignantly retorted, you're slandering me. Ho Qing's death was his own fault. You can't put all the blame on me. If you still have doubts, go ahead and complain to the Taoists. Let's see if they'll believe you. Lin Qingxue said resolutely, I'll avenge my brother myself. Why should I file a complaint? Immediately after, Qingxue channeled her spiritual energy and charged towards Fong Heng. Fong Heng thought in astonishment. She moves as swiftly as a dragon seizing a crane. Before he could react, Fong Heng was pulled towards Lin Qingxue. In a split second, Fong Heng drew his weapon, blocking her lightning-fast attack with a swift sword maneuver. Fong Heng immediately retreated a step, but Qingxue unleashed a powerful wave of true qi, aiming directly at him. A deafening explosion rocked the room, causing the outer disciples outside to stir in commotion. What happened? It sounds like someone's fighting. Quickly, inform the elders. Could it be an intruder? Fong Heng muttered. Women are truly terrifying. Are the techniques in the Four Hearts Spirit Scripture truly this powerful? Lin Qingxue slowly approached, her eyes as cold as ice. You deserve to die. Fresh blood dripped from Fong Heng's forehead. She coldly uttered, regret is too late. It's too late for regrets. She raised her sword, intending to end Fong Heng's life, but the sharp blade was blocked by the fourth elder. Fortunately, this old man arrived in time. The fourth elder sternly shouted, unauthorized fighting in the sacred grounds is a grave offense. Who dares to cause such a disturbance here? Fong Heng hurriedly spoke. Elder, please hear my explanation. I beg you to allow me to explain myself. It happened like this, here's what happened. Not long ago, I, along with you and Ho Qing, were ordered to slay a demon. But unfortunately, brother Ho Qing perished in that battle. I myself barely survived and returned with great difficulty. I barely escaped with my life. Lin Qingxue furiously roared. You lie. You are the one who murdered Ho Qing, and now you're here, making excuses. The surrounding disciples began to whisper amongst themselves. It must be his senior sister, Lin said. A disciple from a powerful family brought a homeless, wandering boy back to the Taoist sect. He must be nothing more than an annoying tag-along. And the Taoist sect seemed oblivious, not caring in the slightest. The reputation of the Hongshan Tao sect, already illustrious with good rumors, grew even more renowned. But could anyone truly guarantee that this righteous sect wasn't actually a disguised evil cult? The four elders spoke in unison, their voices grave. Enough. You don't need to say anymore. This girl acted too recklessly, too impulsively. If that boy's words are true, then everything today was caused by her. Do you know what the crime of inciting a fight is? The fourth elder bellowed sternly. Even if I struck first, it was that little brat who killed Ho Gu. Fong Heng's defense not only failed to appease the fourth elder's fury, but instead further inflamed his rage. Just then, a voice rang out, breaking the tense atmosphere. Fourth elder, let me handle this. The sound immediately caught Lin Qingxue's attention. From the sky, a breathtakingly beautiful woman, a vision of ethereal grace, descended from the clouds, landing gracefully before Fong Xing. Fong Xing thought to himself, isn't this the woman who took Xiaoman away before? The fourth elder spoke up. Just now, this woman openly disobeyed the punishment order, and attempted to escape from Seven Rivers Valley. Fortunately, You arrived in time. The woman bowed respectfully and said, Ling Yun greets the Honorable Elder Hong. Lin Qingxue is currently in secluded cultivation with Master refining pills. She just emerged after 77 days of arduous training. Due to the depletion of her vital energy, her mind is somewhat disoriented, leading her to commit this grave offense. I implore Honorable Elder Hong to show mercy and forgive her. Ling Yun requests permission to take Qingxue back to Seven Rivers Valley for strict discipline. Would that be acceptable? Hearing this, the outer disciples behind them began to whisper amongst themselves. It sounds reasonable enough, but it's just an excuse to take her away. The Seven Valleys sect has never really cared for the Taoist rules. Ling Yun's expression shifted slightly upon hearing these words. The fourth elder also breathed a sigh of relief and said slowly, Very well, do as you see fit. Ling Yun bowed respectfully, then turned to Lin Qingxue, her voice icy. You scoundrel Dong Shi, return to the Seven Valleys sect at once and face Master's punishment. Come back with me. Lin Qingxue seemed indifferent to the scolding, simply replying coldly, Senior Sister Ling Yun, today's events are all due to Qingxue's incompetence, causing you such trouble, but I must kill him. With that, she lunged towards Fong Heng, her sword flashing coldly. Fong Heng casually reached out, stopping Lin Qingxue's blade. His unexpected action stunned her. In the next moment, he slapped her hard across the face. The force of the blow left Lin Qingxue reeling. The outer disciples who witnessed this scene were all shocked. Ling Yun immediately stepped in front of Lin Qingxue, furiously shouting, You insolent fool! How dare you humiliate a disciple of the Seven Valleys sect? Fong Heng calmly replied to Senior Sister Ling Yun, Senior Sister only saw me slap her. But did you not see her try to stab me with a deadly blow first? In Senior Sister's eyes, is the life of an outer disciple no different from grass? That even being touched is unacceptable. Ling Yun was speechless, unable to utter a word. The outer disciples, standing behind, began to murmur amongst themselves. Indeed, the actions of those disciples were outrageous, especially those from Chi Higu. They truly act as if they own the place, with no regard for rules. Hearing the murmurs, the fourth elder spoke to Ling Yun. This child's words, though a bit arrogant and crude, are not entirely without reason. Your Chi Higu disciples, in front of everyone, struck first with a sword, injuring someone. This child's actions were merely self-defense. There's nothing wrong with that. I know Chi Higu has its own rules, but you should know where to draw the line, lest you incite resentment among the people. Neither of us can bear the consequences of this. Hearing fourth elder speak so, Ling Yun released Fong Heng, turned, and bowed to Hong Zhonglao. This disciple understands, elder. Rest assured, Lin Qingxue is in my hands. I will confine her for at least half a year, and discipline her severely. There will be no leniency. Ling Yun then tossed Fong Heng a small pouch. Consider this compensation from Seven Rivers Valley. Anytime, bring this to Seven Rivers Valley and find me, and I will refine pills for you free of charge. With that, Ling Yun led Lin Qingxue away. Fong Heng looked at the pouch in his hand, lost in thought. At this moment, another outer disciple began to take notice of Fong Heng. After seeing the sword on Fong Heng's back, a thought suddenly struck him. Could this be the shifting profound light play? As soon as he finished speaking, he angrily slammed his hand on the table, then fell into deep thought. A moment later, Xian Zhao tilted his head and inquired, Are you certain you haven't mistaken him for someone else? The man hastily waved his hands, asserting firmly, This servant absolutely did not see wrong. A gold-inlaid sword, enveloped in spiritual fire. It's the nine-serpent golden flame, sword stolen from Gue Cheng. There's not a shadow of a doubt. Fong Xing carrying that sword proves he's involved in the Gue Cheng theft. No wonder the thief appeared right after. The spirit stones were obtained. Fong Xing is definitely suspicious. It seems that Lu Feng's incident was also due to Fong Xing colluding with bandits, intentionally framing someone else. Another man leaned close to Xian Zhao's ear, asking softly, Young master, do you want to? Xian Zhao coldly ordered, Bring him to me. The man hurriedly replied, Yes, young master. The scene shifted to Ling Yun Valley. By now, Fong Xing had traversed 77 treacherous slopes, but still hadn't reached his destination. He thought to himself, I never expected Ling Yun Valley within the Seven Rivers Valley to have its own secluded valley like this. Direct disciples are truly treated generously. Suddenly, Fong Hang sensed a dangerous killing intent approaching. With lightning speed, he dodged a fatal sword strike. Rage ignited within him, and he roared, "Who's there?" Immediately, Fong Hang went into battle mode. Powerful spiritual energy radiated from him, enveloping his entire body. He vigilantly scanned his surroundings. Suddenly, countless sword beams attacked him like a furious storm. Startled, Fong Hang leaped high into the air to evade them. Having just escaped the first sharp blade, he continued to soar through the air, glancing around and thinking, "This is strange. Normally, flying swords only operate within range of their target, but there's not a single person around here. What's going on?" Meanwhile, the sword radiated a dazzling green, spiritual energy. In the distance, Ling Yun stood with a triumphant expression. She flicked her wrist, controlling the flying sword as it shot straight towards Fong Hang. Caught completely off guard, Fong Hang was utterly defenseless. Turning his head, he saw the flying swords hurtling towards his face. Moments later, within the tranquil Ling Yun Valley, Fong Hang voiced his accusation. "I knew it. You're the one behind all of this. You think you can take my life with those pathetic little flying swords, trying to silence me permanently?" Ling Yun calmly replied. "The sword formation in the valley activated automatically. I was in a hurry to leave and forgot to warn you. However, you managed to survive that formidable sword formation, which proves you have some skill." Hearing this, Fong Hang fell into deep thought. Ling Yun then asked, "What's wrong? Don't you believe me?" Fong Hang slowly responded, "Of course, I completely trust everything senior sister Ling Yun says, but there's one thing I'd like to ask you. Xiao Man, how has she been doing lately?" Ling Yun looked surprised. "How do you know Xiao Man? Could it be you're that beggar child from all those years ago? Brother, have you truly joined the Xian Men?" Junior brother Fong Hang gave a slight nod. "Indeed, senior brother." This Fong Hang was the one fortunate enough to meet senior sister Ling Yun years ago. If it weren't for senior sister's kindness and the opportunity she bestowed, I wouldn't have been able to step foot into this sacred Xian Man. Therefore, I've always engraved this kindness in my heart, longing to meet senior sister to express my gratitude and also to inquire about Xiao Man. It's just that I've only recently joined, and I'm still unfamiliar with the sect's paths and haven't had the chance to greet senior sister. I hope senior sister will forgive me and not blame me." Hearing this, Ling Yun immediately drew her sword, holding it close to Fong Hang's neck. Her voice is cold as ice. "Remember this well. From the moment I brought Xiao Man into Xian Men to cultivate, she and you no longer have any relationship. If you dare to harass her and disturb her cultivation, I will not hesitate to take your life." Fong Hang, unfazed, replied, "Based on what? Based on the fact that you're stronger than me? Do you really think I fear death that much? If that's the case, you should finish me off right now. Because if you don't, sooner or later, there will be a day I surpass you. Who do you think you are? Some deity who could decide the life and death of others? Xiao Man and I are bound by life and death. You can't just take her away as you please, leaving me to endure this suffering alone in this desolate herb field, a place where even birds don't bother to fly over." "Enough," Ling Yun said coldly. "In short, Xiao Man has officially become a disciple of the Tao sect, living in seclusion deep in the mountains. With your current cultivation, you'll likely never see her again in your lifetime. Here's some medicine. Apply it yourself if you're injured. I promise to help you with alchemy, and I'll keep my word. Follow me. Tell me, what kind of pill do you want to refine?" Fong Hang didn't hesitate, uttering 3 words, "breakthrough pill." Hearing the words, "breakthrough pill," Ling Yun couldn't help but be astonished. She let out a slight chuckle, her words laced with disdain. "Poji Dan, do you have any idea how many precious ingredients are required to refine this type of spiritual pill? Moreover, this pill is used to break through from the 3rd level of Qi refinement to the 4th. Are you even qualified to use it? As I said before, the alchemy world has its own set of rules. I can only assist you in refining the pill. Procuring the ingredients is your own responsibility." Bu Fongxing didn't waste any breath. He pulled out an item and said, "The rules of the alchemy world I naturally understand perfectly. I have my own reasons for asking you to refine the Poji Dan. As for the ingredients, I've already gathered them all." Seeing the item in Bu Fongxing's hand, Ling Yun couldn't help but gasp in surprise. Scratching her head, she asked in bewilderment, "Is this a spirit stone?" Where did you get this? Bu Fongxing replied calmly. If I recall correctly, there's an unspoken rule in the alchemy world against inquiring about the source of ingredients. Hearing this, Ling Yun thought to herself, just where did this kid come from? Never mind the extraordinary courage he just displayed. Simply possessing this crystal is proof enough that he's no ordinary character. It needs more time to be refined. Wait patiently here. Late at night, as Fong Hang was sound asleep, a chilling wave of murderous intent surged towards him, aimed directly at his head. Fong Hang jolted awake, leaping up and shouting, "What's happening? Are we under attack?" He frantically grabbed the jar in his hands, exclaiming in a panic, so that's it." Ling Yun finally spoke. "It's not an enemy. It's the breakthrough pill you've been waiting for." Hearing this, Fong Hang immediately took the pill out of the jar, gazing intently at it and thinking to himself, so this is the breakthrough pill. The spiritual energy emanating from it is truly abundant and powerful. I thought I'd have to wait a while longer. I didn't expect senior sister Ling Yun to finish refining it so quickly. You've been asleep for a whole day and night. Time sure flies, doesn't it? After all that back and forth, after such a long and arduous day, senior sister Ling Yun must be quite exhausted. Then, the door gently creaked open. Ling Yun spoke, "Since you've obtained the boundary-breaking pill, I should take my leave." The sword formation at the valley entrance, both entry and exit, are fraught with peril, so be careful. But remember this, without my permission, you absolutely must not approach Ling Yun Valley within a 10-mile radius. Senior sister Ling Yun's way of seeing guests off is truly unique, telling a guest to leave through the window. Hearing this, Ling Yun immediately retorted, "You were never my guest to begin with." "Right, back then, why were you so certain that I wouldn't kill you? Were you truly not afraid of death?" Fong Hang replied, "Why wouldn't I be afraid of death? It's just that I had a feeling that senior sister Ling Yun has never taken a life before. Am I right?" Hearing these words, Ling Yun was filled with doubt. She wondered, how should I interpret this? But as Fong Hang walked away, he casually remarked, "The eyes of someone who's seen life and death, who's been stained with blood, are different. I only needed to look into senior sister Ling Yun's eyes to know she's never killed a living being. No matter how enraged she was, there was no killing intent." Ling Yun gasped in astonishment. "You're so young. How can you understand such profound things? Who are you?" Before she could finish, Fong Hang vanished without a trace. She stood frozen, lost in thought. A moment later, Ling Yun exclaimed in frustration, "That annoying brat. He's quite the runner." After a while, Fong Hang stopped, turned around, and said calmly, "You senior brothers have been following me. Why not come out and join me for a stroll? Lurking around must be tiring." As soon as he finished speaking, 3 figures appeared, surrounding him. One of them spoke. "Junior brother Fong's hearing is truly sharp. Let's follow him. Young Master Xian Zhao wishes to invite junior brother for tea, for a friendly chat. Just a few words." Fong Hang frowned slightly and replied to young Master Xian Zhao, "I'm afraid you've mistaken me for someone else. I don't know him. If that's the case, we'll have to lend junior brother a hand. Please don't blame us." Immediately after, a fierce battle erupted. Fong Hang drew 9 golden flame swords, facing the 3 opponents alone. The corner of his lips curled up slightly. "Let's see if you're capable enough." Soon, Xian Zhao's enraged roar echoed. "You useless fools! Fong Hang is just a brat, and yet the 3 of you can't capture him?" One of the subordinates hurriedly explained. "Young master, Fong Hang is truly powerful. His cultivation has at least reached the 3rd level of peak foundation establishment. He also possesses the 9-serpent golden flame sword. We are no match for him. Just surviving is fortunate enough." Xian Zhao gasped in horror. "Level 3 Dian phone. How is that possible?" The subordinate continued. "He disappeared into the bamboo forest. We searched everywhere, but couldn't find a trace. It's as if he vanished into thin air. Young master, please rest assured. We will continue the search. Even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground, we will find him." Meanwhile, Fong Hang returned to the barracks, where he was once an outer disciple. As soon as he stepped inside, 4 underlings hurriedly bowed in greeting. "Welcome back, Boss Fong." Fong Hang looked at them sternly and nodded slightly. "Good. Very impressive. But what are you all doing still up at this hour?" One of them quickly replied, "Boss Fong, we were just training together. Rest assured, master, during the more than half a year of your absence, we have diligently followed your instructions day and night, never daring to slack off." Fong Hang smiled faintly as he noticed the wine and dice on the table, then asked, "So, This wine and dice are your cultivation tools? The disciple stammered nervously. And master, we put them away just now. How did you find them? Fong Hang sighed and turned to leave. I don't expect you to be dedicated cultivators anyway. Take these 20 taels of gold, go down the mountain, and enjoy yourselves. Come back when you've spent it all. With that, Fong Hang promptly tossed a heavy bag of gold to each of them. All four were stunned as they stared at the gold in their hands. Fong Hang sternly warned, "But I don't want anyone else besides yourselves to know that I've been to this medicine field. If any of you dare breathe a word of this, I don't think I need to remind you of the consequences. Keep your mouth shut." Many thanks to Boss Fong for his generosity. With those words, the four men hooted, threw their arms around each other, and left, off to find pleasure and enjoy the night. Fong Hang thought to himself, "I'm afraid this place isn't a safe haven for much longer. My only option is to seize the opportunity and break through my current realm. It was here that I first sensed spiritual energy. Almost a year has passed, and this shabby room remains unchanged, as desolate and dilapidated as ever." Fong Hang then took out the realm-breaking pill, stared at it for a long moment, and remained silent. Without further hesitation, he swallowed the pill and shouted, "Spirit movement, 4th stage. Young master has arrived." After taking the pill, Fong Hang fell into deep contemplation. A strange silence fell over the room. After a while, feeling nothing different, he suddenly sensed something was wrong. He bolted upright in bed, a worried expression on his face. Wasn't it said that after breaking the seal, this restoration pill would burn my spiritual meridians? Why don't I feel anything at all? That Lingyan definitely wouldn't lie to me, would he? He wondered. Or could it be that while I was sound asleep, some strange phenomenon suddenly occurred in my body, scaring me? Lost in his thoughts, Fong Hing gradually fell back onto the bed and lost consciousness. In his dream, he found himself standing atop a towering mountain peak, seeing Ninth Uncle sitting in deep contemplation ahead. Fong Hing slowly approached and respectfully asked Ninth Uncle, "What are you looking at, sir?" Ninth Uncle replied, "I'm looking at the place where I found you all those years ago." As he spoke, Ninth Uncle pointed down towards the deep abyss below. Fong Hang followed Ninth Uncle's gaze, but saw nothing, and asked with curiosity, "But there's nothing there. That place has been destroyed." As for who destroyed it, I don't know. Ninth Uncle's voice was filled with melancholy. This place is an immeasurable, illusory space deep within your consciousness. I am merely a fragment of your memory, given form. Fong Heng gasped in surprise. "Ninth Uncle, what are you talking about?" Ninth Uncle explained the function of the boundary-breaking pill. Break and rebuild, rise. First, it will use powerful spiritual energy to shatter the limits of your spiritual meridians, burning away your current meridians, then reconstructing your bones, reforging your ethereal body. Only then can you successfully break through your boundaries, like a phoenix bathed in nirvana's flames, reborn from ashes. Then, Ninth Uncle stepped closer, placed his hands on Fong Heng's shoulders, and pushed him into the abyss. As he fell, Ninth Uncle's voice echoed in his ears. "Remember, Fong Heng, you must survive and become stronger." Moments later, Fong Heng jolted awake, shouting, "Ninth Uncle, Boss Fong, are you all right? This morning, when we returned, we found you unconscious on the ground, burning with fever. But strangely, this room also seems—" "No, I'm fine. It feels like I just had a bizarre dream. But I can't remember what Senior Brother Fong just did. Something about Ninth Uncle, Phoenix Nirvana, or something like that. Our souls almost ascended to heaven. So this is what it feels like to reach the 4th level of spiritual movement. I finally broke through, advancing 4 realms at once. So, Boss Fong, Senior Brother, aren't you qualified to be promoted to an inner disciple now?" With that, Fong Heng slowly drew out 9 flame serpent swords, then stepped onto them and gracefully departed. Before leaving, he didn't forget to instruct us. "Everyone, focus on your cultivation. And by the way, use the money I gave you last night to renovate this house and make it presentable. But we already spent the 20 taels you gave us. The jade sword flies so well. I don't know when I'll ever break through and reach the 4th level of the Soul Chi realm. All I do is dream in vain, days turning into hopeless weeks. Do you know how long it took a remarkable genius, like Big Brother Fong, to cultivate and make a name for himself? It's time to go see young Master Xian Zhao." The scene shifts to Xian Zhao's residence. Xian Zhao is in a furious rage after a fruitless night-long search. He hasn't found even a trace of him. Every nook and cranny in the valley, every dark corner, even the dense bamboo forest on the mountain path has been thoroughly searched. Could that little rascal have already left the Dao Gate? But I asked the gatekeepers, and they all said they hadn't seen him. Brother Xianzhao, why are you so angry? That brat can't hide forever. If he truly refuses to show himself as a friend, we will naturally lend you a hand. When the time comes, I will use my connections within the Dao Gate and send him a message talisman. If he remains missing, we can accuse him of treason. Under the vast sky, where could he possibly hide? Hearing this, Xianzhao thought to himself, help me as a friend? Laughable. Empty words. They pretend to care for me. But now that my sure Jingshan treasure is gone, I bet they've been secretly mocking me endlessly. Suddenly, Yu Sanliang appeared out of nowhere, falling to his knees. Xianzhao roared furiously. Speak, you were the one tailing that brat. Don't tell me you don't know where he's hiding. I really don't know. Ugh, just you wait. If we don't find that brat today, you'll be joining Lu Feng in the underworld. No, Marshal, you've really screwed me over this time. If you're planning to run, take me with you. A strange object suddenly plummeted from the sky, hurtling towards them, causing the eyes of the girl beside him, Xianzhao, to widen in utter shock and astonishment. Next, a loud explosion echoed through the air, and the thick smoke slowly dissipated. At this moment, Xianzhao, filled with rage, immediately thought of Yu Sanliang and suspected him of playing a wicked trick. He roared furiously. You dare. Yu Fanxing spoke, his tone calm. Brother Xianzhao, I heard you wanted to invite me for tea, so I came straight here. I hope I didn't startle you too much. The jade sword soared through the air. Only those who have reached level 4 soul skill can perform this. Could it be that this kid has already become an inner disciple? Suddenly, Fangxing's gaze landed on the fat man beside him, and he couldn't help but be taken aback. Then, he asked irritably, why do I see you everywhere? Hearing this, Yu Sanliang flew into a rage, yelling, you have the nerve to ask why I'm here? Have you no shame, Fangxing? Xianzhao jumped to her feet, her voice laced with suspicion as she addressed Fang Heng. Didn't you say you had only reached the first level of the soul stage? This was a trap all along. Tell me the truth. What connection do you have with the demonic ghost market set? My scripture stone has been stolen. Where have you hidden it? Fang Heng loudly protested. Stolen the scripture stone? It was a reward given to me by the Dao set for completing the talisman crafting task. You're the one who snatched it away. I haven't even settled the score with you, and now you're forcing my friend to kneel. How dare you accuse me? What do you mean? I should be the one asking you that. What are you playing at? You were the one who gave it to me. I saw it with my own eyes. Ask your 2 companions. See if any of them admit to giving it to you. This Jing Shan Spirit Stone. You have the guts to steal, but not the guts to admit it? You insolent brat. Let's see if I don't beat you to a pulp. Fang Heng, look out. In a flash, Xianzhao swung his sword straight at Fang Heng, but the sharp blade only pierced through a fleeting afterimage. Suddenly, Fang Heng appeared right behind him, delivering a devastating kick straight to Xianzhao's face. The powerful blow sent him sprawling to the ground. Xianzhao was sent flying more than 10 meters. Fang Heng stepped back, his voice dripping with disdain. Weaker than me, yet you dare strike first? You got some nerve. I never knew Fang Heng was so strong. Since when? The woman beside him exclaimed, her voice filled with admiration. Brother Fang's profound inner strength is truly extraordinary. I am deeply impressed. And in this matter, Brother Fang is clearly the wrong party. Xianzhao shouldn't have taken your stone scripture powder. Jinhem ni spoke in a skeptical tone. But if I'm not mistaken, Brother Fang cultivates the demonic market Great Dao, correct? Judging by your current cultivation level, you've at least reached the 4th level of Soul Foundation. If you weren't a cultivator of the demonic market, Great Dao, how could you have possibly dissolved the stone scripture powder? That's right. Immediately after I obtained the stone scripture powder from you, it was stolen. If it wasn't you, then who could it have been? Just based on a measly pouch of stone scripture powder, you want to falsely accuse me? Commander Fang, is your heart truly that narrow-minded? Si Fangxing scoffed and said, how laughable. My dissolving pill was bestowed upon me by senior sister Ling Yun, compared to your insignificant pouch of stone scripture powder. What does that have to do with anything? Ridiculous. You dare say senior sister Ling Yun gave these to you? You little brat. I advise you to confess now. Where is shirt Jingshan? Where is he? These elixirs were all given to me by senior sister Ling Yun. Some are for cultivation, to increase my power, and some are for healing injuries. Fang Heng picked up the jade bottle. that Ling Yun had given him earlier, muttering to himself. So there's a type of jade bottle that can preserve fragrance. No wonder she always smells so good. This bottle looks quite similar to an elixir bottle, but who knows what it really contains? Yu Sanliang pulled Fong Heng closer, thinking to himself, this kid usually boasts about senior sister Ling Yun. Fine, whatever. But today he's making up such outrageous lies. Isn't he afraid of being exposed? Xian Zhao cautiously took out 3 Fa Qi pills from the bottle, his face etched with utter astonishment. What happened? These are clearly Fa Qi pills. Could it really be? He then carefully examined the inside of the bottle and found the character Ling engraved on it. Xian Zhao immediately turned to Fong Heng in a panic. You little devil, you dare to steal pills from the Seven Rivers Valley. Fong Heng snatched the bottle from Xian Zhao's hand and coldly retorted, do you think everyone in the Seven Rivers Valley is blind? Fool! These pills were indeed refined by senior sister Ling Yun. Could he and senior sister Ling Yun? I better stay out of this. Junior brother Fong. The matter regarding Shi Jingshan was my oversight. Since it was a misunderstanding, we won't hold you back any longer. But don't think you can get away with this just because of senior sister Ling Yun. I know you're the ghost market bandit. Remember Lu Feng? If you still stubbornly refuse to confess, I will send you down to the Yellow Springs to meet him. Fong Heng pressed Lu Feng, the senior brother, standing before him. What did you do to him? Speak. Xian Zhao roared with fury. Cut the act. I've already sent him to see Yama. Don't think just because you've cultivated to the 4th level of Hunji that I fear you. If you don't explain everything today, even if I die, I won't let you go. With that, Fong Heng slammed his palm down on the table. Cracks immediately spiderwebbed across the stone surface before it shattered into pieces. A terrifying silence descended upon the room. He bellowed, Xian Zhao, you have some nerve. Hearing this, Xian Zhao's face was blank with confusion. Fong Heng continued his accusation. Just for a mere ghost market Taoist, you dared to act so audaciously? Who gave you the right to murder a fellow disciple? Taking someone's life so casually, isn't that what I do? You have any proof? Fong Heng threw out the Qi-Yin talisman and said coldly, here's your proof. What else do you have to say? Seeing the Qi-Yin talisman appear before his eyes, Xian Zhao was utterly terrified, his face paling. Fong Xing said calmly, from the moment I set foot here, every word you've uttered has been recorded in this Qi-Yin talisman. You, relying on your uncle's influence, have acted with impunity, murdered innocent people, and abused your power. But now, the evidence is clear as day. If this matter comes to light, I'm afraid even your uncle won't be able to protect you. Xian Zhao's attitude immediately shifted, his tone becoming fawning. Commander Fong, you misunderstand. It's all a misunderstanding. Truly, just a misunderstanding. He then lunged forward, attempting to snatch the Qi-Yin talisman from the table. But Fong Xing was already prepared, delivering a lightning-fast punch. That landed squarely on Xian Zhao's jaw. Xian Zhao was sent flying, his body crashing heavily to the ground. With a loud thud, Fong Xing looked down at him coldly and said, you dare try such trickery in front of me? Even if I were to beat you to death, it would be considered an act of justice. In a flash, the sharp sword flew straight toward Xian Zhao. Terrified, he screamed, help! Help me! Witnessing this horrifying scene, no one dared to speak. The other two just stood frozen, observing the situation. They didn't dare intervene, fearing that if they did, they would be accused of being accomplices. At this moment, the sword in Fong Heng's hand was right in front of Xian Zhao's face. He shrieked in despair, Junior sister Qin, senior brother Zhao. How can you just stand there and watch? Save me. Suddenly, the sword stopped. Xian Zhao, drenched in sweat, trembled as he stood up, then immediately collapsed to his knees. He stammered, pleading, Brother Fong, I was wrong. Please spare my life. As he spoke, urine continued to stream down his pants. After a moment, Fong Heng spoke coldly. Do you think a simple apology can erase the crime of murdering a fellow disciple? He was my senior brother. We shared the same father. Brother Fong, what do you want me to do to earn your forgiveness? Do you want more money? Hearing this, Xian Zhao froze, his face blank with astonishment. Weren't you yearning for this thing? Great, buy it now for only 300 spirit stones. Xian Zhao snapped back to reality and retorted, 300 spirit stones? Last time I was tricked by you. No, robbed clean by those ghost market Taoists. I currently have less than 20 spirit stones on me. Fong Heng chuckled and said, just write an IOU. It's that simple, isn't it? All right, Let me have a look. He then tossed the Qi mansion to Xian Zhao and left with Yu Sanliang. Xian Zhao slumped to the ground, wailing dramatically, lamenting about a magical tool of such low grade, costing him over 300 spirit stones. Might as well give it a try. He then forcefully threw the Qi mansion onto the ground. Seeing this, Qin Hongni was horrified. Xian Zhao angrily yelled, "Damn it, is it broken?" She then picked up the Qi mansion, examined it, and said, "In this gloomy hellhole, nothing is of value. Not even a trace of spiritual energy can be sensed. What a disastrous plan, a death trap. Don't get cocky just because you've reached the 4th level of spirit movement, thinking you can run wild and do whatever you please. Just you wait. I'll definitely report this to my uncle." A moment later, Yu Sanliang, panting heavily, ran up to junior brother Fong and said, "Have you decided to register for the intersect?" Fong Hang patted Yu Sanliang on the shoulder and replied, "Of course, the sooner I become an inner disciple, the sooner I'll be protected by the sect and avoid lurking dangers. Prevention is better than cure, after all. Keep these remaining resources and cultivate diligently. Young master is gone. This is for me. If not for you, then for whom? I, Yu Sanliang, have toiled in the Tao sect for 7 years, and finally today, I've glimpsed the faint light of the path of cultivation. On the way, Fong Hang finally arrived at the outer disciples' testing grounds, the place that would determine who ascended to the prestigious ranks of inner disciples. The requirement for participation was to have reached the Ling Dong quadruple layer realm. Seeing a colossal object before him, Fong Hang thought to himself, "This thing is as big as a house, and it's made from rare flood dragon skin." You're right. This is the ancient divine drum, a treasure that can transmit sound for hundreds of miles. Just one beat on this, and yours truly will officially become an inner disciple. Just then, 2 young attendants rushed out from inside, stopping him. "Senior brother, please halt. You are not permitted to barge in here. This is a restricted area solely for outer disciples who have reached the Ling Dong quadruple layer cultivation level. If senior brother hasn't met the requirements, please return down the mountain." Hearing this, Fong Hang burst into laughter and generously tossed each of the 2 attendants a spirit stone, saying, "Well said. This young master rewards you." The 2 attendants fell silent, exchanging glances with thoughtful expressions. Fong Hang casually picked up the drumstick and then struck the drum with a mighty blow. The resounding drum beats of war echoed, stirring countless memories, immersing some in bitterness and others in sorrow. In the distance, an elder was discussing a Go game with another old man. When they heard the urgent drumming, the sound made him involuntarily stop and exclaim, "That Xiaoju wants to enter the sect again? How audacious! It seems the time has almost come," he mused. The person opposite asked, "Who is Shifu referring to?" From within the great hall, a majestic voice boomed. "Fong Hang, outer disciple, having broken through to the 4th level of spiritual movement, now seeks to join the inner sect to cultivate profound techniques. Dit Xin Fang Hang, you have officially entered the sect. You must strictly adhere to the Qin Yun sect's 3 rules and 12 precepts. One of the most important precepts is absolute loyalty to the sect. Do you agree?" Dit Xin Fang Hang obey. As soon as he finished speaking, suddenly, Fong Hang's body erupted in crimson flames, like a phoenix reborn. The mysterious elder continued the ritual. "The soul lamp is complete. This is your life lamp. If you face danger in the future, if peril is close, this lamp will immediately extinguish. Not only that, you can also use the soul lamp to leave behind traces, clues, to help your fellow disciples find the cause of your death." Finishing his words, he channeled spiritual energy into his hand, condensing it into a mystical object, then slowly continued. "From this day forward, this jade pendant is your identity token, your symbol within the Qin Yun sect. It not only verifies your identity as a disciple, displays a map of the entire Qin Yun mountain, stores audio recordings, but in times of crisis, you can also connect with the soul lamp to call for help. Guard it carefully." Fong Hang sensed that the jade pendant and the soul lamp were extraordinary, seemingly harboring some kind of mysterious controlling magic. "Now, you're officially a disciple of the Qin Yun sect. Choose one of these 5 cultivation techniques to begin your path of cultivation. There are 5 supreme Dharma techniques here. Which one do you wish to cultivate? The mystical world of divine powers and spells is divided into 7 realms. The 6 higher realms belong to the ranks of celestial immortals, while the 6 lower realms belong to the mortal world, comprehending profound Dharma. Each level represents a distinct and unique world. So I had thought that the cultivation methods, the righteous Dharma of the Qingyun sect, had reached the absolute pinnacle, but unexpectedly, it's only ranked 2nd. So how many more wonders and formidable techniques lie above? These 5 Dharma techniques not only influence your cultivation realm, but also serve as a means for you to establish yourself and secure your future, and to compete for resources later on. Look here, this longevity art, after successful cultivation, allows one to harmonize with all things and be close to plants. It's very beneficial for cultivating spiritual medicines and immortal herbs. Disciples of the Qi, He Gu, and Qingyun sect all cultivate this secret technique. I ask you, are you willing to learn it? Fang Heng quickly shook his head. Why wouldn't I learn it? Then take a look at this myriad transformations art. This divine art, Fuzhu Hua Wu, talisman transformation, focuses on transforming all things into potent talismans. Through the power to control these talismans, the cultivator can alter and manipulate everything in the world. Upon reaching the highest level of enlightenment, you will possess the ability to create powerful talismans with your own hands and utilize all things as materials for refinement, increasing your cultivation resources. However, cultivating this divine art requires exceptional calligraphy skills, reaching a state of transcendental mastery. Are you interested in learning it? Fang Heng shook his head vehemently, grimacing. Just writing a few words gives me a splitting headache. I don't want to learn it. The other person continued. Then consider the divine art Li Shan, mountain moving. This art requires the learner to meticulously study the terrain of mountains and rivers, carefully observe the flow of water, calculate and understand the connections and gravitational forces between all things in heaven and earth. From there, you can condense spiritual energy and form mystical formations. After mastering this divine art, you can create mystical halos, discover hidden caves, and seek out treasures concealed within. Do you wish to learn it? Fang Heng refused once again. No, I can't even use an abacus, let alone read fortunes. The other person quickly closed the book and continued. This is the secret art of the true azure lotus. After mastering it, you can use spiritual fire to refine countless magical artifacts. This is a top-tier technique in the world of cultivation, only for 10 spirit stones. Are you interested in learning it? Fang Heng shook his head vehemently. I'm a blacksmith. I don't need to learn these things. The other person sighed deeply. You won't learn this. You don't care about that. What in the world do you want to learn? Fang Heng pointed to the last cultivation manual and said, I want to learn this secret technique. The other person shook their head. You can't possibly comprehend this divine art. Young man, I advise you not to be too greedy. Shuzing cultivation technique isn't about achieving boundless, omnipotent divine abilities, but about securing your livelihood in the future. For every cultivator, gathering cultivation resources is paramount. You've been in the outer sect for a year. Haven't you grasped this fundamental truth? The Qingyun Nine Swords art is a supreme cultivation technique passed down from generation to generation by our sect's founder. It focuses solely on sword cultivation, allowing its practitioners to contend with the strongest cultivators. But you should know, cultivating this sword art is incredibly arduous, demanding immense effort and consuming thrice the resources of other techniques. Never underestimate other disciplines, for upon reaching a certain realm, we cultivators can gather resources ourselves. As for this Qingyun Nine Swords art, it doesn't aid in pill refinement, crafting artifacts, or mastering talismans and formations. It only knows how to endlessly consume resources. Therefore, it's only suitable for those from wealthy families who need not worry about resource replenishment. Within our Qingyun sect, only a handful of disciples from powerful clans have the chance to cultivate this technique. And you? Without resources, you're nothing. Couldn't I just snatch it from someone else? Suddenly, a mysterious chess piece appeared, instantly emitting a brilliant golden aura. Immediately after, an ethereal figure materialized, startling the elder standing behind him, who hastily exclaimed, "Martial uncle!" The system immediately issued a notification. Illusory spirit body, 9th level of spirit movement cultivation. Fong Hang thought to himself, a complete spirit movement body at the 9th level of cultivation. Wouldn't Martial Uncle's true body be many times more powerful? We welcome the arrival of Martial Uncle's Dharma body. May I ask, what important matter brings Martial Uncle here so early? The Tao body pointed directly at Fong Hang and said, "You follow me." Fong Hang was astonished, pointing at himself and asking, "Me?" The elder hurriedly intervened. "Martial Uncle, there must be a mistake. This disciple is but a novice in the way of cultivation, having yet to choose a cultivation method and still young in years, with an arrogant and conceited personality. How could I possibly catch Shirshu's eye?" The spectral figure turned its head and calmly replied, "It matters not. I find this young man intriguing. Moreover, he shares a karmic connection with me. I shall personally guide him." With that, the spectral figure extended a hand and said, "Come." Fong Hang hesitated for a moment, then took the figure's hand. Together, they departed. The elder watched them go, murmuring, "Shu. What sort of play is this?" Moments later, Fong Hang followed the spectral figure up the mountain. He called out loudly, "Hey, don't go so fast. Where are we?" Just as he finished speaking, the spectral figure vanished without a trace, leaving Fong Hang standing bewildered in the void. He quickly jumped up, shouting, "Hey, where are you going? Wait for me. Over here." Another pawn swiftly moved towards the elder. Fong Hang's frantic cries echoed everywhere. "Wait for me." The white-haired elder just smiled faintly and said gently, "A noisy little bird is flying our way." When Fong Hang finally reached the mountaintop, he immediately demanded, "What's the meaning of calling me here for a game of Go?" The system immediately chimed in with an explanation. "This board is crafted from Xin Bing stone from the depths of the Black Sea. The white pieces are made of pure white Bingyu crystals, and the black pieces are crafted from the bones of a 1,000-year-old black rhinoceros, all incredibly rare materials." Fong Hang's opponent spoke coldly. "What's with all the yelling? Do you even understand Go?" Fong Hang refused to back down, retorting, "Who says I don't? Isn't it just black pieces capturing white pieces? Easier said than done. Try capturing one piece then." The other man smiled, replying calmly, "What's so hard about that? If you can really do it, then what? Try capturing a black piece first, then we'll talk." The white-haired elder then spoke up, "Come and see. Master Li Shi's white pieces have been completely surrounded by me. If you can resolve this perilous situation for him, I will bestow upon you an incredibly powerful magical technique. My words are absolute truth." Fong Hang, don't hesitate any longer. Quickly take a chess piece and swallow it whole. Li Shi's eyes widened in astonishment as he asked, "You just swallowed a chess piece? Does that even count as capturing a piece? What's so special about it compared to a normal capture? Is eating one piece like that enough? Or do you need to eat a few more to be satisfied?" Fong Hang thought to himself, "This black chess piece is truly extraordinary. It lives up to its reputation, crafted from the bone of a black rhinoceros, brimming with potent spiritual energy." Witnessing this scene, Li Shi glanced towards the white-haired elder, seeking his opinion. The white-haired elder slowly said to Li Shi, "This young man consumed a black piece for you, which is equivalent to resolving a crucial move in your predicament. I will temporarily seal this chessboard, and when we have time, you and I will continue this unfinished game. Many thanks, Martial Uncle, for yielding. If you want to show gratitude, you should thank the one who helped you win. Little brother, come visit Duanjun Valley sometime, and I'll surely repay you generously. Speaking of which, at just the right moment, you haven't said how you'll repay me." Before Fong Hang could finish, Li Shi had vanished. Fong Hang hurriedly asked where he had gone. Li Shi had returned. "As for you, I don't think you need any supplementary training spells, because from a moment you stepped into this sect, you went to Ghost City and stole all the spirit stones. Not only that, but you returned to Ghost City again, and swindled all the Yaoling Dan from the outer disciples of Ho Qing. Furthermore, you killed the 4 Ho Qing disciples who were on their way up the mountain to slay demons. Even if it was self-defense, how did you know everything? If you want to know, don't do it. Since joining the sect, you have violated the sect rules a total of 7 times. So, what should the punishment be? Senior, look at me, so lonely and alone, a single shadow, so pitiful. Please, spare me just this once. We're both being forced into this. Feigning pity only adds to the sin. So what do you propose we do? If you want to kill me, then go ahead. This old Taoist seems to have a sharp tongue, but a soft heart. If he wanted me dead, he would have done it already. Why bother with all this talk? Suddenly, they both teleported. The scenery around them changed in a dizzying blur. Look, this little thief really does have a secret lair filled with treasures. They then stopped before a gigantic alchemy furnace. Seeing the massive furnace, Fong Hang was stunned. He instinctively stepped back, accidentally stepping on the white-haired elder's foot. The elder gave a sly and cunning smile. Fong Hang immediately rushed forward and grabbed the elder's leg, pleading, You don't understand. I've been fond of wrongdoing since I was a child. A wicked person like me surely has no merit whatsoever. So, if you refine me into an elixir, this can't possibly be some kind of magical elixir, right? Saving a life is better than building 7 pagodas, as the saying goes. Sparing me would be like accumulating virtue, wouldn't it? I brought you here, and now you want me to let you go? How does that make any sense? Besides, when did I ever say I wanted to refine you into an elixir? After receiving the manual from the white-haired elder, Fong Hang exclaimed in surprise, What is this? The sect leader calmly explained, Your temperament is somewhat deviant, haunted by evil thoughts, unsuitable for what I can impart. However, perhaps this scroll will be more fitting for you. I'll give you 3 days to study and comprehend. If you fail, I will erase your memories and banish you back to the inner sect. With an elated expression, Fong Hang gesticulated excitedly as he spoke. I can help you, but you have to agree to one condition of mine first. Sensing Fong Hang's cunning, the sect leader's face changed color, and he exclaimed, This little rascal, so young yet with such deep and unfathomable thoughts. Fong Hang feigned innocence, scratching his head and saying, It's because you broke your promise first. You promised to teach me magic, and now you're telling me to look at this scroll. My request isn't too much, is it? The sect leader got straight to the point. No need for further ado. I know what you want. Fong Hang, if you can grasp the profound secrets within this scroll, I will overlook everything you've done, and I will impart to you a supreme technique. Finishing his words, the sect leader handed Fong Hang an ancient scroll, which looked incredibly exquisite. Fong Hang took it, muttered, All right then, and slowly unfurled the scroll. Immediately, a surge of evil black energy suddenly appeared, accompanied by terrifying streaks of crimson blood, making the scroll exude an even more mysterious and dangerous aura. The sect leader began to slowly explain. This painting is called the Immortal Slaughter Painting, created from the blood of a beheaded immortal. I know this painting holds countless vital secrets, but even after 700 years, I still haven't been able to grasp its profound mysteries. I've entrusted many of Qinyan's sects, most exceptional disciples, to diligently study, but none have yielded any results. However, I've noticed your unique way of thinking, your unconventional actions. Perhaps you might discover something new. Try to understand it. I'll return in 3 days. After a period of meticulous instructions, the sect leader left the room. He looked up at the starlit night and sighed softly. For the past 300 years, this is the 10th time I've sought someone to study the Immortal Slaughter Painting. I hope this time there will be an unexpected breakthrough. Meanwhile, Fong Hang remained seated quietly in the room, focused on refining the scroll. Suddenly, a face with a sinister, terrifying grin materialized, wreathed in dark, malevolent flames. At the same time, the image of an old man with snow-white hair, seemingly the previous owner of this painting, appeared. He was struggling, unable to figure out how to refine the scroll, when suddenly, a surge of cultivation technique from the scroll flowed directly into Fong Hang's mind, called the Blood Immortal Sword Intent. This was undoubtedly an immortal-level cultivation technique related to sword intent. I remember that in this world, cultivation techniques are divided into ranks: profound, dharma, divine, and immortal. The heavenly Tao governs all things from top to bottom. Indeed, immortal techniques rank lower than heavenly techniques. No wonder even immortals can be destroyed. But in the end, what am I supposed to comprehend from this painting? What would a person about to be executed, about to be beheaded, think when facing imminent death? Is it ultimate fear? No, that's not right. There's no resonance at all. It seems the person being beheaded in the painting isn't showing any terror at all. So what is it then? Only regret remained. Regret for sneaking out of Gue Yingu to wander the city. What crime did this brat commit? He's no ordinary thug. In broad daylight, he murdered Master Chen's son and will be executed tomorrow. No, that's not quite right. What happened exactly? "You filthy little wretch, you dare not kneel and kowtow before me? I'll blow your arm off." So that's it. That's the resentment. Why should I be subjected to the abuse of others? Why should I endure humiliation and suffering? Thinking of this, Fong Heng's entire body trembled violently. It was this feeling, the ultimate rage born of despair, an unyielding spirit in every cell. Suddenly, the figure in the painting magnified, instantly merging with Fong Heng's body. At the same time, the fiery energy from the painting followed, gradually seeping into his body. This energy is monstrous. This isn't good. The resentment within the painting is raging fiercely. My spiritual power and rage fire have only reached the halfway mark of true intent. It's not enough. Something's still missing. Fong Heng closed his eyes, his face filled with helplessness. Could it be? Am I going to die here? No. I have to find a way to save myself. This painting, what secret does it hold? Suddenly, Fong Heng seemed to realize something. That's right, it's the Heavenly Will Sword. It was the Heavenly Will Sword that beheaded this immortal, creating this severed head painting. The power of the Heavenly Will Sword is even greater than the immortal's blood, for with a single strike, it took his head. Unyielding rage fire and true intent intertwined, supporting and balancing each other in a flash of brilliance. With his exceptional intellect, Fong Heng used the Heavenly Will Sword to suppress the raging rage fire, and the two opposing forces reached a state of equilibrium. The destructive flames gradually died down. The raging energy dissipated and was completely absorbed by Fong Heng. He clenched his fists and laughed triumphantly. "Ha, I've finally done it." After his exclamation, Fong Heng fainted. The sect leader approached to examine the boy, then remarked thoughtfully, "This ferocious fire was truly terrifying, yet it couldn't incinerate his life force. It seems he has truly grasped the profound truth." The demonic energy on the painting also gradually dissipated. He smiled smugly. "A 1,000-year lifespan is within reach. We can finally unravel this mystery." As soon as he finished speaking, Linley performed a teleportation technique, arriving in his bedroom in the blink of an eye. He placed Fong Heng on the bed and muttered, "As long as I grasp the secrets within this ancient painting, I'll have the chance to break through my current realm." A moment later, Fong Heng woke up, groaning, so hot. It seemed the flames still lingered within him. As the pain subsided, he looked down at his body and breathed a sigh of relief. I thought this time, this young master was done for. Looking around suspiciously, he wondered, where am I? Why am I drenched in sweat? Forget it. I'll just have a drink to drown out this fear. I think there's half a jug left in my storage ring. Fumbling at his side, Fong Heng suddenly realized the jug of wine was gone. He froze, stunned for a good 5 seconds. The sect leader slowly approached. "Your wine is in my hands. While you were sound asleep, I snuck a taste. The flavor is truly mediocre. Perhaps I've grown accustomed to finer wines, making my palate more discerning." Ignoring the sect leader's words, Fong Heng hurriedly gulped down the rest of the wine. "But it's thanks to this wine that I discovered your cultivation secret." Upon hearing this, Fong Heng spat out his wine in shock, his panic evident. He stammered, What did you just say? What cultivation secret? I just like to drink." Cultivating after getting drunk feels exhilarating, full of boundless energy. But inwardly, he thought, could it be that he's discovered the secret of the Tai, Shang, Hua, Ling, Jing? The sect leader continued to speak. "Ordinary people can't directly absorb spiritual energy from alcohol. You dare to deceive me with a demon core from the Nether City?" Realizing his secret had been exposed, Fong Heng thought to himself, this isn't good. This guy is sharper than I thought. The Yin Yang, Shanimo Jian, and the Taishang Hua Ling Jing. If they're revealed, his hatred for me will only deepen. I have to find a way to cover this up. With a feigned, innocent expression, Fong Heng spoke. "Senior, you don't know. Actually, I am. But the sect leader saw through everything. I've already guessed your special identity. So, even if you don't tell the truth, I can understand. In truth, you possess the bloodline of the primordial Tao Tai, don't you? These past few days, I've consulted many ancient texts and discovered records of the primordial Tao Tai clan. They possess the ability to devour all of heaven and earth. You must be a hybrid of Tao Tai and human. The bloodlines of the two races combined, allowing for such easy absorption of the spirit elixir. Fong Heng thought to himself, what in the world is this old man talking about? You're the demon. You're a half-breed, a mix of human and demon. Your whole family's demonic. The old man continued. This world despises those with mixed demon blood, so it's understandable that you'd hide your true identity. However, don't let it go to your head, because not everyone in the cultivation world rejects those with demon blood. Besides, your heritage isn't that hard to conceal. Fanghang zipli awadili. Yes, Senior's insight is truly remarkable. This junior is utterly impressed. But inwardly, he thought, this failure is exactly what I wanted. The sect leader continued. Indeed, speaking of which, have you grasped the profound mysteries of the head-severing diagram? Fang Heng replied. Of course, Senior. In reality, hidden within the Zhanshu 2, painting lies an incredibly profound and mystical secret. But it was the rage of the beheaded one that awakened a hidden power deep within me. It transformed all my spiritual energy into a terrifying, dreadful flame. However, focusing solely on the rage within the Fudu painting will only lead me astray, causing me to lose control, because the resentment and indomitable will of that immortal are not the true meaning of the Zhanshu 2. I suddenly thought about why that immortal was beheaded. What made them so enraged? The true meaning hidden within this painting is the sword intent that killed the immortal in the past. Sword intent. The sect leader exclaimed in astonishment, then fell into deep thought. No wonder the Qing Yun sect disciples who came here before could never escape this Shotu painting. It turns out that within this painting, besides the rage, there's such profound sword intent hidden. Indeed, Fang Heng added, the rage of the immortal in the Zhanshu 2, no matter how powerful. Finally, his head was severed from his neck. This proved that sword intent was even more powerful than his boundless rage. And the second layer of profound mystery hidden within this map was this extraordinary sword intent. With a face filled with deep sorrow, the old man exclaimed, "Is that all? What a pity!" As the sect leader left, Fang Heng thought to himself, reaping the benefits and still pretending to feel regretful. This is the profound mystery that I risked my life to obtain. What's there to pity? Stepping outside, the sect leader let out a heavy sigh. I thought that within this map was hidden a supreme, immortal-grade cultivation technique, a miraculous cultivation secret, capable of helping me break through the golden core realm, reach nascent soul, and extend my lifespan. But inside, there was only baleful fire and sword intent. All killing techniques, no cultivation methods at all. It seems I have no way to prolong my life anymore. No. He shook his head vehemently. Even so, I will not go back. Suddenly, he created a giant circle and tossed the mirror into it. Immediately, the mirror suddenly magnified, revealing the image of a man. A voice called out, "Lao Jio, is that you? Have you finally decided to contact the clan?" The man in the mirror replied coldly, "Don't waste your breath. I've laid my plans carefully. You can't escape this net." The man outside the mirror continued, his voice laced with sarcasm. "Oh, still so cautious are we? But what good has all this caution done you? Now you come to me. Is your primordial spirit nearing its end? You were once so powerful. No matter how poorly the clan treated you, you still secretly caused the Jin Nan golden calamity, stealthily stole the clan's Xian Guang tree, mysterious light tree, and concealed it for so many years without anyone knowing. But now, have you broken through that realm yet? This is the consequence of betraying your own clan. Lao Jiao, if you had accepted that energy flow back then, with your natural talent and the abundant resources of our clan, reaching the nascent soul stage should be trivial. Right now, you could even break through to the tribulation transcendence realm. The young sect leader replied with a helpless tone, "Big brother, what you say is true, but I no longer possess a nascent soul or spiritual power. I have no nirvana pellet to protect me. My cultivation has been sealed for 500 long years, and my primordial spirit is nearly depleted. In this lifetime, I fear I have no hope of reaching the nascent soul realm again." The reflection in the mirror continued, "Ninth brother, take the Xianguang tree in return. Apologize to your 3 junior brothers. I will intercede on your behalf. The clan will surely forgive you for old time's sake." The sect leader roared in fury. "Apologize to him? That despicable villain has committed countless heinous crimes. And you want me to bow my head and apologize to him? What about my child?" The figure in the mirror responded, "Haven't you learned anything? In the past 700 years, the sect leader, seemingly having lost everything, replied, "Indeed, I've thought it through thoroughly. I cannot become Tian Jiqiao's pawn. So what am I to do? You think that by the clan? Grooming him, you can achieve your ambitions and rule the world. A terrifying force suddenly shattered the voice transmission connection. The sect leader uttered his last words. Let me make this clear. The reason I contacted you wasn't to return to the clan. After all, my primordial spirit is about to dissipate. In the remaining days I will destroy the clan's conspiracy and make you all taste the bitterness of regret. It seemed the man in the mirror still held some brotherly affection for the sect leader. He said, Old Ninth, it's best not to do anything reckless. Then, the mirror shattered into countless pieces. In the silent room, Fong Heng slowly sipped the remaining wine in his cup. Doubt flooded his mind. Why did the wine run out so fast? Could it be that my cultivation hasn't progressed? Yet, the spiritual energy within this jar has been completely absorbed by me. Or was this all just a fleeting dream? I can clearly sense the spiritual energy within my body becoming increasingly pure. I need to find something to verify this. In a flash, Fong Heng channeled his qi with both hands, and the sect leader's precious treasures suddenly appeared before him. Just as I suspected, although my cultivation level hasn't changed, the power of my techniques has increased significantly. What are you doing? The sect leader's voice suddenly boomed. Startled, Fong Heng quickly withdrew his spell. He almost knocked over those priceless treasures. Fortunately, the sect leader swiftly erected a protective barrier, keeping everything safe. The Ming Wang bone, the Hu Yuan bone refining pill, the black ice dragon breaking bone. You almost ruined everything. And the jade bone silver tree flower, a treasure I've painstakingly nurtured for 300 years, is just 3 days away from blooming. How do you explain this? The sect leader questioned sternly. Fong Heng replied innocently, how about we stick it back in the ground for you? Silence. Come with me this instant, the sect leader commanded. Upon arriving at the sect leader's residence, Fong Heng was called closer. With an extremely serious expression, the sect leader suddenly grabbed Fong Heng's clothes, attempting to rip them off. Fong Heng struggled frantically, resisting fiercely. What are you doing? I won't sell my body just for a flower. Hearing this, the sect leader was stunned for a moment. Then he burst into laughter. Indeed, I'm quite interested in your body. With that, he channeled his energy and swiftly removed Fong Heng's clothes. So, you strip me to inspect me. Indeed, just as I suspected. The Xian Guang tree that has been hidden for so long. Immediately after, the sect leader withdrew his command. Fong Heng plummeted to the ground with a loud thud. Lying sprawled on the ground, Fong Heng thought to himself, so that's it, I understand now. That old geezer was just messing with me over that measly little spirit herb. How petty. The sect leader looked down at Fong Heng and slowly said, There's no need to resent me in your heart. I'm not that idle. Fong Heng thought with a start. Damn, can this old geezer read minds or something? Get up, I have something to ask you. Back in the inheritance hall, why did you refuse to learn the sect's orthodox teachings? First of all, Fong Heng retorted. What orthodox teachings? It's just teaching people to forge iron and draw talismans. It's so boring, I wouldn't bother learning it. With a displeased expression, the sect leader replied, If you look down on the orthodox teachings of the Qingyun sect like that, then what do you consider to be true orthodox teachings? That you finally give me some respect. The grumpy boy whipped around, his eyes sharp as blades. Fong Heng shouted, Of course, it's the Azure Cloud 9 Swords. Even if other techniques can help me increase my resources, internal strength, how can their fighting power compare to it? I want to learn the strongest technique. The sect leader replied, Even if you learn it, it might not necessarily be the strongest. Fong Heng retorted, Then I'll learn this one first, and then learn something stronger later. What's wrong with that? The sect leader continued, The various sects and Jianghu clans all consider their techniques to be their lifeblood, so they will absolutely not teach them to you. With a confident grin, Fong Heng replied, Then I'll steal them, no matter what. I will learn it. The sect leader countered, But if you don't have enough strength, how can you possibly seize someone else's cultivation technique? Fong Xing scratched his head, a confused look on his face. Then what should I do, master? The sect leader smiled, slowly explaining. While there isn't a single supreme cultivation technique, there are suitable cultivation methods. And moreover, one that's perfectly suited for you. Fong Xing's eyes lit up, and he hurriedly asked, What is it? Is it the war cultivator? The sect leader replied, Yes. Fang Xing was stunned, completely clueless about what a war cultivator was. The sect leader then carefully elaborated. You should know that cultivators rely on their specialties to survive in this world. Some are proficient in alchemy and pill refinement, thus called pill cultivators. Some are skilled with weapons. Others excel at crafting and repairing magical artifacts, and some specialize in talisman creation. Each has their own designation, countless in number. Of course, this is only within our Qinyan sect. If we consider the entire southern Zhangbujo, the number is even more vast and immeasurable. For example, there are cultivators who dedicate themselves to nurturing spirit beasts. There are also secluded cultivators who dedicate themselves to cultivation, honing their spirit and mind. Some even rely on trading in the mortal world to accumulate cultivation resources. In short, the world of cultivation is far vaster and more complex than you can imagine. Ultimately, the purpose of cultivation, regardless of the path, revolves around two words: resources. Fang Xing curiously asked, "What exactly are these resources?" The young boy thought to himself, if only there was a profession dedicated to stealing cultivation techniques. The sect leader continued, battle cultivators are an independent branch, completely different from the cultivators I just mentioned. They don't practice alchemy, nor do they forge weapons, but solely focus on training, pushing their wood techniques and martial skills to the absolute limit. They pursue only one goal: absolute combat power. Besides fighting, nothing else matters to them. Fang Xing's eyes lit up, and he exclaimed excitedly, "I like that. I want to be a battle cultivator. I want to become a battle cultivator." The sect leader smiled faintly and replied softly, "It's not as easy as you think. Battle cultivators are the most unique individuals in the world of cultivation because they lack any means of accessing cultivation resources. Before reaching a certain realm, it's incredibly difficult for battle cultivators to sustain themselves. Therefore, only two types of people choose to walk the arduous path of battle cultivation. The first are the exceptional geniuses of the sect, those who never have to worry about lacking resources. Their sole focus is refining their skills and enhancing their combat abilities. The second are those considered waste, possessing no talent for alchemy, lazy in their cultivation, and finding divination too complex and formation mastery too daunting. This type, though they can hardly be called true battle cultivators, possess incredibly weak strength, merely using the title of battle cultivator to escape reality. Fang Xing pondered for a moment, then asked directly, "So, battle cultivators are either geniuses or trash?" The sect leader nodded. "You could say that." Fang Xing frowned, "But neither of those fit me." The sect leader raised an eyebrow. "Not even the second type." Fang Xing lightly patted his cheek and replied, "This young master is too, but I'm not a fool either. Haven't you just been mocking me this whole time?" Seeing this, the sect leader revealed his true colors, his real purpose coming to light. "Hold on. I say you're suited to the path of the battle cultivator for another reason. Because you've grasped the essence of the head-severing art, and you've begun to comprehend the samadhi true fire throughout your cultivation and battles. You've been destined for greatness, to surpass all others." Fang Heng exclaimed in surprise. "Samadhi true fire? What's that?" The sect leader explained. "The Samadhi true fire is a supreme spiritual flame. Only true immortals can control it after overcoming heavenly tribulation. Within the Samadhi true fire lies rage, desire, three of the most difficult desires to control among the seven emotions, and six desires of mankind. When combined with innate energy and transformed into flames, they will unleash an earth-shattering power. The terror of the Samadhi true fire lies not only in its burning agony, physical body, but also deeply impacts the spirit, leaving the opponent with no chance to react." Fang Xing excitedly inquired, "So, does that mean I've now grasped such formidable power?" The sect leader shook his head, replying, "You've only achieved the first stage, Fury Fire, and haven't yet comprehended the remaining two stages. Therefore, you're still far from mastering the legendary 3 stages of True Fire." Fang Xing pondered for a moment, then asked, "So, the raging flames within the head-severing painting are the combination of the first stage and Fury Fire?" He affirmed precisely. "I surmise that." The unyielding will of the immortal before his death ignited extreme rage within him. After being beheaded, both his fury and his blood fused into the head-severing painting. when you achieved enlightenment. Thanks to the powerful resonance with the indomitable will of the ancient immortal, you have awakened the rage that lay dormant deep within your soul. And from that, you have tamed and mastered this furious flame. Fong Heng let out a smug grin, thinking to himself, I never expected being burned in a sea of fire would lead to such an unexpected outcome. No wonder when I drank that spiritual liquor, I felt a strange transformation within my body. Turns out, it was this miraculous flame that purified and tempered my bones. This flame is truly marvelous, he continued, but it hasn't been fully refined yet. Before your cultivation reaches the tribulation transcendence realm, you will struggle to fully grasp its operation and control. Therefore, the true wonders of the Samadhi true fire you have yet to fully unlock. However, this flame will greatly aid you on your path of cultivation and conquest, especially in tempering your body. Fong Heng then asked, temper my body? Wu Yin looked himself over, then glanced up skeptically. Are you sure about this? The expert explained, absolutely. Just as steel is forged in the fiercest fires, you will temper your body with the earthly hellfire lotus. Through ordinary cultivation alone, it will be difficult for you to match those born with extraordinary physiques and abundant spiritual power. Major sects and powerful clans have painstakingly developed numerous secret methods to cultivate war cultivators, creating warriors of unparalleled strength. Methods such as using spiritual liquids to cleanse the marrow, infusing true essence into the body, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth through consuming wind and dew, or bathing in harmonizing hot springs to strengthen muscles and bones. Although war cultivators trained through these secret techniques can easily defeat 3 or 4 opponents of higher realms, their true strength still relies on a process of long and arduous accumulation. This is truly a path that consumes a vast amount of resources. Bu Fangxing tapped his forehead lightly, lost in thought. He continued, however, that doesn't mean you should waste any time. It's just that this path demands more resources compared to, for an ordinary cultivator. For the great sects and powerful clans, training and cultivating powerful battle cultivators is the ultimate method to protect their own interests. Without the presence of battle cultivators, their days of destruction would surely not be far off. Therefore, battle cultivators are revered as guardian deities, unyielding shields. Do you understand this clearly? Sure, Fong Xing nodded and replied, this junior understands. But if I want to become a true battle cultivator, the sect will certainly not impart their secret techniques to me. He replied, precisely because of this, I had you use the cleansing fury fire to temper your inherited rage body, to forge a powerful inherited rage physique. Through this method, even without secret techniques, you can still rapidly increase your spiritual power and cultivation level, reaching a realm of extraordinary power, surpassing others. Of course, you must also be mentally prepared, because this process will consume a vast amount of cultivation resources. From foundation establishment to golden core, each stage requires an immense, almost unimaginable quantity of resources. Fong Heng scratched his head, chuckling awkwardly. Well, this is a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Having you spend so many precious resources to cultivate me like this, he coldly replied. Did I ever say I would cultivate you? Fong Heng asked doubtfully. You talk to me so much, meticulously explaining about battle cultivators, diligently guiding my cultivation method. Doesn't that mean you want to take me as your disciple? Now that you're my master, shouldn't you share some resources with your disciple? Of course, when I'm being bullied, you have to help me fight back. And when I like someone, you even have to help me propose. Isn't that a master's responsibility? With an exasperated look, he replied, what nonsense are you spouting? I'm teaching you, not adopting you. Listen carefully. I'm helping you cultivate. Simply out of curiosity. I want to see what kind of battle cultivator a severed head diagram can produce. So, I'll only tell you what you need to know. As for the method of obtaining that energy, you'll have to rely on your own abilities. Fong Heng pursed his lips, thinking to himself, this old man talks big, but isn't actually helpful at all. Does he want me to steal it or something? The boy sighed inwardly, feeling helpless. Looking at that expression, the old man was certain the boy's mind was wandering again. The old man continued, I want to teach you the most powerful cultivation method. Are you willing to learn? Fong Heng's expression transformed, his face lighting up. Of course I want to. He nodded enthusiastically, his voice filled with the eager anticipation of a child awaiting his father's guidance. Good, I will teach you. Turning and walking back into the room, the old man began his lesson. When utilizing the gong, he knew Hua to refine spiritual energy. The flames must be controlled with precision. They must not be too strong nor too weak. Follow the rules precisely and slowly. Guide the qi into your body as you have been taught. If you wish to borrow the power of the Republic of Fury's fire to temper your body, to forge yourself into a true battle cultivator, then this burning pain is merely the first step. You must endure it with unwavering resolve. The old man continued his guidance. You absorb the flames into your body with such speed. I am truly astonished. Now, begin to control the flames to refine your Zhen Qi. Stroking his chin thoughtfully, he added, Last night, I studied all the secret techniques of the Qin Yin sect, but I found no method that could fully utilize the power of the three. Murray True Fire. Note, Sanmei is best left untranslated as a proper noun. There's no other way. For now, you must use the Qin Yin severing foot technique to control the Sanmei. True Fire. Fong Heng asked suspiciously, Did I hear that correctly? This leg wasn't meant for forging weapons. As soon as he finished speaking, the old man rapped Fong Heng hard on the head. I modified it a bit, to be suitable for cultivating the Samadhi True Fire. This isn't some ordinary forging technique. After saying that, the old man walked out. The reason I chose the Qin Yun severing leg is because I can use the forging method within this technique to control the Samadhi True Fire. Not only will it control the flames, but it will also help conceal your talent. Fong Heng put on a pitiful expression. Can you stop hitting me? Yesterday you said you wanted to teach me, but you changed your mind overnight. Is this improved forging method really that amazing? Don't lie to me. The old man sighed. This brat really doesn't know what's good for him. Talking is useless. With that, the old man conjured a rope and tied Fong Heng up, suspending him in midair. Fong Heng yelled, Where are you taking me? Put me down. The old man loosened his grip on the rope and said calmly, If you wish to go down, I shall grant your request. In a blink of an eye, the rope snapped. Fong Heng plummeted into the thick snow, his helpless cries echoing through the air. The old man approached slowly and explained, Only a place of extreme cold like this can suppress the intense yang energy of the Samadhi True Fire within you. From this day forward, you will cultivate here. Fong Heng was still fuming, muttering, Old geezer, always teasing me. I'll spit in your face. Suddenly, the old man bestowed upon Fong Heng a modified version of the Qin Yun sect's cultivation technique, a supreme art. Fong Heng was astonished. A high-level technique? This person, overnight, transformed an ordinary technique into a supreme skill. This is definitely not something an ordinary elder can do. Could the Qin Yun sect leader truly possess such power? If he wielded such extraordinary abilities, why would he go through the trouble of teaching me martial arts? What is his true purpose? Fong Heng was lost in thought. Suddenly, the old Taoist's voice broke through his contemplation. Don't be distracted. Quickly enter meditation and regulate your breathing. Even while cultivating, Fong Heng couldn't stop pondering the mysteries. Strange, this white-haired Taoist was enigmatic and unpredictable. Yet for some reason, I don't feel any animosity towards him. I even sense a certain kinship with him. Beside him, the old Taoist continued his fervent lecture, imparting the method of transforming inner Ling Hua from the cultivation manual. First, one must transform the spiritual energy within the body into external Ling Hua. Then, utilize refining techniques to temper the body and condense spiritual energy. But Fong Heng decided to set this matter aside for now. After all, he had already grasped the knowledge of the Yin Yang divine devil. If that old man tries to impart anything harmful to me, I will surely detect it and not allow myself to suffer any loss. In the silent night, sudden wisps of dark, malevolent energy emanated from Fong Heng's body. It seemed as if he was being invaded by demonic energy on the verge of succumbing to it. It looked as if demonic chi was entering him, about to consume him. Witnessing this, the sect leader immediately bellowed, "Focus your spirit. Extinguish the demonic flames." He unleashed the heavenly intent sword chi, attempting to help Fong Hang suppress the demonic fire. Fong Hang immediately channeled his inner strength, his entire body gradually becoming enveloped in a layer of powerful Dao Qi. However, he seemed to be losing his reason, being controlled by the demonic energy. The sect leader approached Fong Hang, anxiously asking, "Severing Tran in Qingyun, what does severing Tran ultimately mean?" Fong Hang clutched his head, screaming in agony. "It is a process of refinement, of purging impurities, of returning to one's true self." After speaking, he collapsed to the ground, exhausted and unconscious. The sect leader hurried to his side, used her spiritual energy to heal him. When Fong Xing awoke, he angrily slammed his fist into the ground and gritted his teeth. "Damn it, have I failed again?" The sect leader calmly replied. "Still got the strength to punch the ground. Seems you're doing just fine. Actually, from my perspective, you haven't completely failed." Hearing this, Fong Xing's eyes widened, and he asked excitedly, "Really? So I can enter the—" The sect leader quickly covered his mouth and said, "Because in a certain sense, you've succeeded brilliantly." Fong Xing scratched his head and chuckled. "So you were joking?" The sect leader's expression turned serious. He asked, "Do you find this amusing?" Fong Xing quickly shook his head. "No, not at all." Afterwards, the sect leader and Fong Xing left together. The sect leader said, "It seems you've fully recovered. Then let's continue." As soon as he finished speaking, he used his divine power. Fong Xing unexpectedly tripped and fell to the ground. Fong Xing cried out indignantly, "Are you openly getting revenge on me?" Time passed silently. Fong Hang had failed 7 times in a row. He began to blame the sect leader and insisted on doing things his own way. The sect leader nodded in agreement. Silence fell over the area. Suddenly, the water beneath Fong Hang began to boil and bubble, heated by the Samadhi true fire. Waves of heat radiated from his body. Fong Hang seemed to be consumed by the intense flames. The sect leader watched, deep in thought. Without hesitation, Fong Hang started chanting, his hands rapidly forming hand seals. His hands danced in a blur. A triumphant smile flickered across his lips before he roared, "Burn for me." Instantly, the water beneath Fong Hang erupted in a cloud of steam. At the same time, he coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood. Finally, Fong Hang collapsed, exhausted, onto the ground. Horrified, the sect leader rushed over and exclaimed, This isn't right." Suddenly, a figure covered in mystical dragon scales materialized, gradually revealing the form of a majestic and imposing dragon. The dragon reared its head and roared with an earth-shattering sound, then circled above Fong Hang's head. Witnessing this spectacle, the sect leader couldn't help but gasp in astonishment. Successful? Has it truly succeeded? Fong Hang slowly rose to his feet, speaking with confident composure. "Indeed, I told you I could do it. Now, I feel like I could shatter mountains with a single punch." The sect leader nodded slightly in agreement. "Truly, your vital energy has been significantly enhanced. Not only is your physique far superior to that of ordinary cultivators, but the quality of your spiritual energy is also 3 times greater than theirs. You have attained the power of the spirit moving 5th stage, the body refining secret art of the sand. Mai Jian Huo is truly wondrous. I also once cultivated using this method, but I was unable to achieve such pure spiritual energy as you." With that, the sect leader handed Fong Hang a bottle of precious medicinal pills. Fong Hang accepted it joyfully, bowing respectfully. "Many thanks, sect leader. This precious pill, is it for me?" Without a word, he popped it into his mouth and swallowed a whole. Witnessing this, the sect leader almost burst into tears. "Hey kid, don't be so wasteful. In just half a year, you've devoured all the demon cores and spirit pills I've collected over 300 years. Then, Fong Hang finished the pill, casually tossed the empty bottle aside, and said playfully, This empty jar of yours. Let me throw it away for you. No need to thank me." The sect leader sighed wearily. "Forget it. You have mastered such a miraculous body refining technique. But my resources are not limitless. From now on, remember to use the Samadhi true fire to temper your body. Your chi will be much purer than ordinary people. With the same incantation, When you cast it, the power will be much stronger. This will give you a solid foundation to compete in the world. Fong Hang nodded. All right, rest assured. After this disciple returns to the inner sect, I will devote myself to cultivating this technique. Sect leader Zhang Min immediately interrupted Fong Hang. Who said you could return to the inner sect? Come down the mountain and train with me. With a flick of his sleeve, sect leader Zhang Min summoned a white cloud, carrying them both away from the mountain peak. After a moment of contemplation, Fong Hang asked, "Isn't cultivating on the mountain good enough? Why must we go down the mountain to train?" The sect leader replied, "On the mountain, you can only train your martial arts. But in the mortal world, you can temper your heart. If you wish to become a true Zhan Tu, a true warrior, you cannot shy away from experiencing the world." Fong Hang asked again, "What's the difference between cultivation and training?" The sect leader slowly explained. Cultivation is merely refining the body and strengthening internal energy. To forge a strong body, one needs to cultivate, be imparted with superior combat techniques and precious resources. These are extremely important for a battle cultivator. These things are crucial for a Zhan Tu. Fong Hang nodded. This junior understands. So, will you teach me these combat skills? The sect leader smiled and replied, "I have prepared a special cultivation method for you, allowing you to master invincible combat skills in the shortest amount of time and gather countless rare resources." Fong Hang asked curiously, "What method is it?" The sect leader pointed downwards, right below here. Fong Hang looked down and questioned, "There's only a vast lake resembling the Bai Shui Han Tan. What's so special about it?" As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Hang was suddenly kicked into the lake by the sect leader. He angrily yelled, "You old geezer, you did it again." Upon hearing the title old man with white hair, the sect leader's face was etched with surprise. Fong Hang pointed at the sect leader, angrily demanding, "Why did you throw me down here?" The sect leader sternly replied, "A ferocious demon serpent lurks in this lake, wreaking havoc on boats and devouring passersby. It's known as the Azure Dragon King. In truth, it's just a green serpent on the verge of breaking through to the 6th rank, preparing to transform into a true dragon. Your mission is to eliminate it. Through this, you will not only hone your combat skills, but also acquire invaluable resources. This demon serpent possesses an exceedingly rare demon core." Fong Hang asked suspiciously, "Is this the method you spoke of? I'm only a 4th rank spirit movement stage cultivator. Do you want me to kill it, or to be its next meal?" The sect leader said coldly, "If you refuse to go today, you can come up with 1,000 excuses. But if on your cultivation path, you encounter a powerful opponent, you will only have one chance." Fong Hang, upon hearing this, froze. The sect leader continued, "If you encounter danger, use this talisman to protect your life." With a flick of his wrist, the talisman flew towards Fong Hang. "But if you use this talisman, it means your potential only goes this far. From now on, you need not cultivate with me anymore. Return to the inner sect." Fong Hang stood silently, then clenched his fists, resolutely refusing the talisman. The sect leader murmured, "This kid actually refused to accept it." By now, Fong Hang was sinking to the bottom of the deep lake. He thought to himself, "This place is vast and boundless. How can I find that demon serpent? I can't let any more children get hurt." Fong Hang drew the short dagger from his waist. A flash of light erupted from the sharp blade, slicing a bloody gash across his arm. Crimson drops of blood dripped onto the deep blue surface of the sea, spreading out in concentric ripples like expanding waves. The colossal serpent immediately caught the pungent scent of blood, its icy gaze fixing on Fong Hang with murderous intent. Not assuming Fung Hang yes Fang Hang. The serpent's massive body surged upwards, lunging forward. The dignified sect leader instantly recognized the perilous situation. A second battle was about to begin. Fong Hang watched the serpent charging towards him, a thought echoing in his mind. Even if it cost me my life this time, I have finally grasped the truth. Come. The giant serpent, jaws wide open, revealing rows of razor-sharp fangs, hurtled towards Fong Hang with terrifying speed. From beneath the water's surface, crimson blood began to well up, forming a vibrant, scarlet trail. Time seemed to slow as Fong Hang cried out, "Old man with the silver hair,